All righty, are we live? Yes, we are. Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. And tonight's evening's episode title is Vegas Dice and Drama. Ask me, which is really Jeremy, anything. And we're going to talk about everything right now.
Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. Whether you're a seasoned player or a beginner eager to step up to the table, this is your lucky podcast that's all about the thrill and strategy of the casino world. I'm your host, Jeremy. With me is Jim the Professor. Let's get rolling. Well, hello, Jim.
Hola, Jeremy.
Here I am, Vegas, the new
setup.
Kind of. I mean, I haven't set it. Well, I have my editing desk set up, but that's about it. If you looked around me, it's chaos. I got boxes and construction and everything.
So you're not unpacked all the way yet?
Oh, no, because my wife was only here for like a day. We did like the kitchen, unpack the kitchen, and then she went to work. And so I've kind of done some stuff. You know, I put the beds together, but then I'm like, well, I got to get my editing desk put together, and I got that done. And we'll get there.
Okay.
But I put together cobbled enough together that we can actually go live.
Very good.
To people, and hopefully have some fun tonight. Talk
Excellent.
about maybe some drama and some dice tonight.
Yeah, and there's been some drama in Vegas, some real life SVU kind of stuff.
Crazy news. I guess it's been a week now. Last Sunday, which
was after
podcast next Sunday, right?
What's that?
We had a podcast last.
Yeah,
Sunday?
we had our first return after the big long break. It says can barely hear you, Jeremy.
That's weird.
That's on two different people.
Well, I mean, obviously I tore everything down, put it back together. I have, automatically adjust. I'll just turn myself up a little bit. It's probably because my mic is far away. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It says three different people say the sound is soft.
Plus it's delayed. We'll see. Hopefully it's fixed now. Just let me know.
Any difference, let us know.
Yeah.
Dan says he can hear you just fine.
Dan's right. Dan Brewer. Thank you, Dan. He's the one that's just right. And we do have the call-in live feature open, so you can text me there. I don't read the texts as much, but they do come through. I didn't think it was a feature, but it actually is a feature. You can text that number anytime you want. Okay. So if we're not live on the air and you want to send something, you can.
All right.
Unlikely I'll see it because I don't get notifications.
Okay.
But you can certainly call when we're live, so we'll take your call.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So back to the drama. You said it happened last Sunday. What are you referring to, or what are we referring
to? The YouTube world and Las Vegas and shootings all combining for crazy drama. My wife's like, "Are you sure we should move to Las Vegas as a YouTuber?" And I'm like, I don't roll that way, so I think I'll be just fine.
No beefs, no drama.
Not yet. I mean, I know it's usually those type of things are good for the numbers and viewership. So, I mean, maybe I should start one. But I guess it depends on who you have a beef with and how serious it gets, right?
Do you have anybody?
Why don't we back up for anyone who maybe wasn't sure of this? Because I don't think it hit. Maybe it hit mainstream news, but maybe you want to kind of recap what the story is.
Basically, the story is this, and you'll know the names. I won't, but basically,
I don't. Actually, I didn't know the names. So
you didn't know the names before the story broke?
No, as far as there's more streamers, not YouTubers. It's kind of two separate camps, but they did stream on YouTube. But I didn't know them as Vegas famous YouTubers.
Okay,
I just didn't. But I guess they were decent.
I'm gonna have to Google the story then to find out the names because
I can tell you. I have the names pulled up.
Oh, you do? Okay. So basically, what it was is this: there's this guy. He's streaming in front of the fountains on the Las Vegas Strip, the famous fountains at the Bellagio.
So Finney the Legend was streaming. He's the guy who was streaming.
Finney the Legend was streaming, and apparently his wife was with him. And he's standing in front of the camera. You can go watch it, and he's standing in front looking around, and he's kind of shooting down the sidewalk. He's not really shooting the fountains too much. And then this guy just walks up and stands behind this other guy, and I think it was his can't remember if it's right or his left hand, takes a gun and shoots him, bam, bam, bam. And then
this guy his name was Sin City Manny Wise. He was the other streamer. Mm-hmm.
He was the other streamer. Okay. So Sin City Manny Wise is up there, and pop, pop, pop. And then down goes this one guy. A woman goes crazy, and she said, no, this is happening or whatever. And then he shoots her dead also. 2 people dead right there. The camera gets knocked down. Everybody's spews, and the camera's just laid down sideways, and it's just very sad. That's all I saw.
Sometimes nowadays, because everyone's got cameras and everyone's streaming. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people are streaming nowadays. So the wildest things show up. But yeah, the fact that it was 2 YouTubers and in Vegas, kind of hits home a little more than normal.
And not to mention, it's on a very popular part of the Strip that is visited. It doesn't get
more popular than in front of the fountains.
Yeah, I mean, that's free entertainment. That's a wonderful free show that they put on over there. And, it's kind of stupid viewed and stuff.
Cole here said that it did become mainstream because his mom called him about being safe during DiceCon. So there you go.
Okay.
But I guess the background of it, from what I read a little bit, was these 2 guys were having beef online or YouTube or whatever, and it got so angry with each other that they would report each other's channels. And if you report enough, you could say, hey, this channel is showing illegal stuff or whatever. And it's usually not a human that kind of looks at it. It's usually like a robot.
Okay.
And so they err on the side of caution and safety. So if someone reports you a bunch, they'll give you a strike, which means it's like a bad mark for your channel. And essentially what that means is you get 3 strikes and your channel is permanently deleted.
Okay.
And he was either at 2 or 3 strikes because this other guy kept reporting him, or they were reporting each other. So it's kind of like messing with someone's livelihood, I guess. I mean, not that
justifies murder.
Justifies murdering.
Double homicide.
Yeah, and the stupid guy, like the day before, he was streaming, like driving his car, like, I'm hunting wherever these guys are, I'm gonna get them and stuff like this. So
I didn't get all that.
I just hung up. Yeah, I just hung up on a call who called in. So I'm gonna give you just let me finish this, and then I'll take a call back in a second. So he's driving and looking for him, and then obviously the next day they're streaming it, and he goes, "Oh, okay, they're in front of the fountains," and he goes and kills them. So it's pretty kind of clear cut. That's premeditated, right? So that's first degree slam dunk. I guess now he's saying that he thought that they pulled a gun on him first, and that's going to be his defense or whatever. But
probably not going to stand because there's cameras everywhere on the Strip. Not to mention all the people who were probably out and about filming and everything else. So.
Yeah, this is not going to end well for this guy. So, I mean, he was worried about his livelihood. Now he's worried
about his life. Do they have death penalty in Nevada?
I don't know. But you know how it is. They usually don't. I mean, he's going to spend 30 years in jail before, even if he did get the death penalty, right? So, all right. I apologize, whoever called me, and I hung up. Call back now. I just kind of wanted to finish that story, and I don't have a way to take a call and put you on hold or mute or anything.
You need a producer.
I need a producer. We don't have that. We're low budget here.
Very low budget. Yeah.
Call back
we do have microphones that work apparently half the time.
Some of the time.
Yeah.
Some of the time, but so I would say that's a lot of drama.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, we're moving there, and I'm like, but yeah, like I said, I'm not that type of guy, right? I'm careful how I approach the topic of dice control, right? Let alone get into a beef where we're going to be shooting up each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Dan says they do have the death penalty here in Nevada.
Okay.
So.
Well, hey, if anybody does, maybe they'll live stream the
that would be poetic
Yeah.
justice, right?
Yeah.
Live stream the live
streamer. Maybe. But stay away from dice control or whatever. Now that they know that you're in Vegas or whatever.
Yeah, stay away from the touchy subjects so someone don't get me, right? All the dice controller guys.
Yeah, they could all try to prove it against you or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. I did listen to the guys over at Casino Quest, and they said they at least met him and they were aware of his streaming and stuff. And
okay,
said he did a pretty good streaming. He'd always get, the whatever they're called, super chats when you're live and people.
Oh yeah, when you jump in.
Like mm-hmm. So I don't know. They said he was pretty popular. I had never seen or heard either one of them, but
okay,
still pretty wild, pretty dramatic.
Yeah, I might do some Googling after it and see. Maybe are there channels you think still open? Like,
I looked, I could not find their channel. So YouTube's kind of
get it down quick.
They
when
usually
there's
get down. I mean, when you search it for it, there's obviously hundreds of videos that people are making about the story.
Right.
So you have to kind of be careful of what's real information and what's made up and what's people's opinions. But their actual channels, because I'd love to kind of see what they did before or whatever. I could not find them. So
okay,
I don't know. It's kind of terrible for the family who got killed, for sure.
Heck yeah.
Man.
So how did
go ahead. The strip too, right? Like you said,
yeah,
fountains.
You can't get much.
It's icky.
You can't get any more popular than that. But anyway, yeah, that's for the drama and the danger. I guess you could have put another D in there. But the move went well. You actually drove from Reno to Las Vegas.
Yep.
In a moving van.
Yep. I drove the moving truck. My wife followed in our car.
Okay.
I do want to mention, this does date that, but these aren't things that I'm going to post on.
Right.
You can get our podcasts on all your favorite streaming apps, or streaming podcast apps. But we're going to this new method where every other weekend or every other week one will be an official podcast with a topic. The other one will be just ask us anything, and hopefully I don't hang up on you. They still haven't called back. I feel so bad now. I should have just took their call but I would have interrupted myself. I'm not good at multitasking.
Okay.
So anyway, this does date it, but it doesn't matter just because it's an ask us anything version of the live stream. Is Shooter Crap says Happy Daddy Day, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes, today is Father's Day. For all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Yep, right back at you.
Holy Roller's popping in.
Okay.
It's ready for DiceCon, it looks like.
And we can definitely mention that too. Our annual convention for our club members.
We're like
coming up
a week
from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow. Yeah.
So I know a lot of people will be coming in a week from today, I think.
Yeah. I'll actually be bopping in Saturday night. Yeah.
Okay.
Or Saturday evening, I think I come in. So I'm excited about it.
Are you staying at the Bellagio? You got to look out for some.
No. I guess they got it cleaned up pretty quickly, right? So
yeah,
you would think that's just sad, man. And like high profile too. I know they've had like drunk drivers going 100 miles an hour down the strip. Some of them NFL players apparently, and they just go and kill people and stuff like that. But this one, like you said, premeditated right up front. Just like, no way.
I mean, in Las Vegas, we think of it as like some sort of like little entertainment thing. It is a larger city overall. I mean, so stuff like this does go on in cities, right? But
actually, I watched a podcast this week, and maybe you can actually, I think I sent it to you or I sent you one of his. It's this guy who does little monologue videos and picks different topics, but Vegas, as far as crime goes, is a very safe city when you look at the per capita and everything. Does it have pockets of it? Sure. Another guy, Jacob's Life in Vegas or whatever his channel is called, he had a video where it was showing all the bad parts of Vegas on the not too far from the Strip, but overall it's a bunch of nice neighborhoods if you get outside of town.
Imagine.
Yeah, they don't want that over there.
But yeah, just like any city, there are some rough spots where the the gangs and the low lifes hang out. So, but thankfully, as far as I know, no other bystanders. I mean, I don't know how much the wife was involved in streaming, but not that it's okay that they were both shot and killed. But I'm just saying that.
Yeah, you keep going back to that point,
indiscriminate.
Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But I'm glad he didn't just shoot up a bunch of people, and happen to get his target as well. Like, at least if you went there to have a good time in Vegas, you didn't get killed.
Yes, as a passerby.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that was tough. And I think she was the one in the. It had to be the lady, because after she started screaming, you didn't hear her scream anymore. She went off camera.
I won't be able to attend DiceCon this year, but we'll be at the Circus July 7th and 8th. So any Color Up folks that are around would love to meet you. Very cool.
There you go. Yeah. So very good on that one. But yeah, if you want to call, the number to reach Jeremy and ask him anything is 678, 723-1112, and that's it, right? 6, the number 6, 7, the most popular craps number, then the sister number of the 6, 8-7-2-3-11-12. So give Jeremy a call, and you'll go right to the front of the line, because there is no line, because we don't have any callers. So
I watched your video where it says best way to gain money on craps, the 110, and middle. My question is, after hitting the first 2 bets and you're in the positive, is it okay to bet the don't come line to have some kind of insurance on money still on table? Certainly you could, but that kind of defeats the purpose of those type of strategies where you've got your money back after 2 hits and you're risk free. Because then why hedging is a tough way to play, because you're not winning or losing, right? So with these type of, I've been shown a lot of strategies where kind of 110 inside, 2 hits.
You've been doing the 2-hit regression.
You got your money
series.
back, right? Mm-hmm. And you have some money still left on the table. Well, it doesn't make sense to me to then lower your chance of, hedge that, because now's the point. You have no risk to go for the big win. So from there on, I would be aggressive or press or kind of whatever you want. Math kind of says same bet actually works usually better, but that's the time to take advantage. That's not the time to hedge again. With those type of strategies.
I just had an idea for a video, and it goes with this too. How about 2 hits, take me down? Just turn me off, take me down.
I've done 2 videos. I've done that video before, and it usually does pretty well.
You're not going to probably hit a home run, yeah.
Right, it misses out on the long rolls. But, on average, the roll lasts 8.5.
Yeah, but you don't miss out on all those short rolls.
On all those short rolls. So I don't know if maybe it's been a year. I did a series, and I compared, should you press, should you same bet?
Okay, I seem to remember that now that you're talking about it.
Should you go completely off? And I think it won most of the time, just because. But then again, if you're not playing, of course you'll do okay because you don't have any risk on the table. But it's kind of like hedging. You have no risk, but you also have no ability to win.
No reward, yeah.
No reward. True. So, and what are you there for, right? And again, we've had this topic or talked about this many times, but sure, if you're like me and I now live here, I can go to the casino every day and could play that style.
Right.
But most people, they go in for the weekend or a couple times a year. You don't want to just be standing around, 2 hits and then waiting. So I don't know. It's you got to kind of mix it up what you're comfortable playing and stuff.
Hey, I just saw one here. This might fit. Let me see if I can click on it. It's from Fa, and what's your guys' go-to crap strategy? So what is Mr. Color Up's favorite go-to crap strategy?
Lately, I've been playing that. I've mentioned in a couple of videos. I lay the 4-10, usually the 10, to hedge. I just said hedging.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But I hedge it for just, I think it's 3 rolls. So I play inside and then lay for the same amount. So 44 inside, lay for 40. 66 inside, lay for 60, 110 inside, lay for 100. And then 1 hit, I pull down a number, I have 0 risk. 2 hits, then I pull down the lay bet, and then I have like less than $10 at risk.
Yeah.
And from there, then I can be aggressive. But I get away from the hedge, because now once I'm positive or breaking even or whatever, or essentially my money's on the table paid for, so I've been really playing a lot of hedging up front for those 2 or 3 hits, and it may or may not be better to not hedge that.
Will you be playing that way at DiceCon? I know you have a lot of people who want to play with you.
Yeah,
and you got to make that bankroll last.
Probably. I found that it hangs in there, and
okay.
So it's pretty good. And I sometimes I'll do it from the don't, but I like the idea of playing larger and regressing. But for me, if you get hit in those first two rolls,
it's hard to dig out of that hole.
110, it's hard to dig out. So for me, I don't win as much, but I hedge up front for those get past those 2 or 3 rolls to get my money back.
Okay.
But it's dice, so sometimes the hedge gets knocked off, and then the other bets get knocked off, and then I'm just as well should have done something else. But there is no way to beat the game. I've looked at every angle.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And I found I do like hedging for the first couple rolls to get my money back, and then I'll try to be more aggressive. So that's what I've been playing lately.
Yeah, and me, what I'll be doing at DiceCon is I'll probably be playing the slow and easy 3-point Molly on hopefully we can find some $5 and $10 tables downtown in the morning, I would hope.
10 probably, yeah.
Probably 10. And hopefully I can make that bankroll last a little bit. Maybe I can get one of these skilled random rollers to go ahead and hit the ATS after I get up a little bit. But yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll increase my odds, and I may just put a 6 and an 8 up there with just a pass line kind of thing.
Yes. Have I done the video? I've done it in like a couple versions, but I think the latest was, let me look it up here. Man, I make a lot of videos, huh? His duck. 3 keys rigged. It was something like this is how I've been winning, something like that. Maybe someone else knows what it's called. Oh, my secret strategy, how I won 1,000 with an 88% win rate. And I kind of break down some stats, and I essentially have been playing this on.
Was that the cruise one?
Yeah, it's why.
That was the one you had on the book where you won like 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I just went ahead and posted the link to it.
Okay, excellent.
But yeah, it hangs in there. So
okay.
Oddly enough, like 2 weeks, I came like the first weekend of June to pick up my keys to the house and visit my brother here in Vegas before going back to Reno. But I'm like, you know what? Let me try this on the bubble craps. And people say the bubble craps are rigged.
Yes.
And I left the session on the bubble craps feeling like the bubble craps machine was rigged.
There you go.
I swear it's like, okay, I do my thing because I could play it at a low level. So I was like, you know what? Let's do like $8 inside, $2 on all the numbers, and an $8 lay 10. And sure enough, it hit the lay, it hit the 10, knock off my lay. And then the 7 out. And then I'm like, all right, I'll try it again. It would do it again. And then I'd switch. Okay, I'm going to lay the 4. It would roll a 4. Like it was always knocking my lay off, and then always the 7 when I didn't have any hedge going. It was it felt rigged. But overall, I lost. I did eventually had some rolls and won it back. But I think overall I lost like $20.
Okay.
In an hour. So that's at the bubble craps level. But it does lose. And there are ways, and maybe it was because the machine was rigged, Jim.
Never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Crazier things have happened in Las Vegas.
It was another losing session with that strategy, my secret strategy. So.
Oh, here. Oh, I just saw a question up at the top. Or not a question. This was a statement. It's like Jason said he feels like hedging is the casino's best friend, as you can never win both sides of the bets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100% on that. I agree with you, Jason. I'm not a big fan of the hedge.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'll say it's okay for the short term if you're trying to accomplish something specific, but like to hedge overall, to try to hedge out a win, it's not going to happen. You're just going to hedge yourself to death.
Yeah, it's just more money out there that's just waiting to get knocked down, in my opinion, anyway. All right, let's see. Oh, here's a good question from our good buddy Ken. Wary buyer says, how much ATS bankroll do you have for DiceCon 2025? Well, I posted on my Facebook page that I had $220 for 440 pounds of aluminum cans that I turned in. I still have more cans. I had a guest come in town. One of our fellow club members came in town on Thursday. And this is how this is how important.
He saw it with his own eyes.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's referring.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is, Jeff. Jeff, good to hear from you, Tin Man. So I took him to the back in the archives behind the garage and showed him I still have cans left, and I will be getting some more, but I'll be leaving to go out of town. So I've got 220 there. I'm not going to use all of mine.
I was going to ask, is cash for or cans
trash
for
to
cash?
cash?
Trash for cash. It's not specifically for the ATS.
No, it can be. Yeah, it can be. So my trash for cash is for the ATS. So I'm going to try to take that 220 plus whatever I got in the back, and then I also have 550 that I got from my, what do you call it? 550 back from the healthcare thing for getting steps in and all that kind of stuff for the year. I get $125 every quarter.
Okay.
So I got a rebate on that. So they're going to take a little bit out of taxes on that. So I could have up to around $600 or so.
Just for the ATS?
Just for the ATS. Now,
so
am I going to play it all?
If you play 555, that's 15. 600 divided by 15. How many shots at it do you got?
I don't know. I'd have to do some math here, but it's
I do want to answer this one. This is always a great conversation. Jason says Bubble Craps is considered a slot machine when it comes to calculating win-loss and by all casino measures. What does that tell you? That's not actually accurate, Jason. Some jurisdictions, it is classified as a slot machine. A lot of jurisdictions, it's classified as an E table game. And here in Nevada, it's calculated as an electronic table games. Usually if it's classified as a slot, they just haven't updated their standards. And like in here in Nevada, if it resembles or has dice or a ball that resemble, it has to have the same odds and probability. So I kid about that's why I was kind of joking. They're completely random and perfectly safe in a real game in the state of Nevada for sure. Now there are some jurisdictions where it is an actual slot machine, or they say it can be, so they could potentially have a hold like they do a slot machine. But in almost all jurisdictions, that is not true. They just haven't updated their standards. And so they don't have table games. They have table games and they have slots. And so they're like, what do we do with this? We'll just slow it under the slot category.
So you don't think there's any jurisdictions anywhere that say, hey, there's a 95%
I'm not going to say any
payout?
because I don't know for sure. But I do know that most, it's not a thing. They don't have a percentage hold on it. Nor do these machines are really designed and built and have a way to do that.
Okay.
People have sent me, hey, what about this? We see the patent and stuff where it talks about random number generator in these bubble machines and stuff, but those always refer to the bounce, the amount of pressure or the hydraulics.
Oh, yeah.
I
read that. Didn't we read a study, or I sent you a study on that and talked about the thing shooting off? And
so people always go, look, it says it has a random number generator, but that's literally to make the floor or the hydraulics bounce, because the casino doesn't want a unbalanced, non-random dice game. They
just
want
like they don't want to unbalanced.
If it was unbalanced, you would sit there
and
learn it, and then you could figure it out. But no, they want a random game just like everyone else because they win.
Right.
They are cheating by having a random game. So
it's a great house edge on there.
That's what, but it is confusing. A lot of people are like, well, it's categorized as slot in my state. Maybe, but as far as I know, there's no one that has a hold.
Do you enjoy bubble craps machines? I know Fa on here was saying he can't stand them. I mean, you like it or no?
I mean, if I have a choice, no, right? I'm going to the table 100% of the time. But also, if I have $50, I can have fun on the bubble machine. I like the game. I like the math and trying to do different things. And it is a great way to do it for a low bankroll. So
okay, all right, very good.
Ricky says I'm still a rookie and can't seem to get the nerve to start high like 110, 220 insider press. Any tips to overcome the mental obstacle? No, don't do it. If you're not comfortable to lose 110, do not do it.
Wow.
If you have the bankroll, if you're going to play that way, you should have $1,000 to $2,000, right? It's enough for 10 shooters. So for one, okay, even if you do have $2,000, but you're still not comfortable playing with it that way, just don't do it.
What if he hedged the 4 and the 10?
Well, okay, now you've got 200 on, let's say 110 inside. Now you've got 200 on the table. It could work out, but you could also roll that 10 first, lose that 100,
and then roll 7.
Now, now you have to make a decision. Do you hedge it again, or do you just try to ride it out? So you can lose 200 just like that again. So that's why the hedge is not perfect as well. But I would say, don't play it if you're not comfortable. It's one, if you can afford it, that's a different topic, and it's a mental thing. Get comfortable at what level you can. Like me, I used to be, if you've watched this channel for years ago, I'd be like, $5 tables, that's all. I'm very comfortable playing at a $10 table now. Both I can afford to lose kind of the bankroll. Usually $10 table, $500 is good to go, right? I'm okay to lose $200, $300 in my life point at this time. And I'm comfortable playing at a $10 table. Whereas before, $5 was my comfort level, and $10 I was like, nervous, right? Playing the game. So if you're not nervous, that's bad. I would say that's a bad sign. You might be on your way to a problem gambler or whatever. Some people are okay, but just be careful. Having some nerves and trepidation about putting more money and gambling more is not a bad thing in my opinion, Ricky. So,
or how about? I mean, I don't think Ricky's there for the problem gambler, because he said press. No. Yeah, or he said pressing.
It's just it's a lot, because I have been shown it as a good way to play, and it is. So in that sense, like, hey, should I? If it's a good way to play, but I'm not comfortable with playing that way. Oh, I gotta switch it on. Let's see.
Here we go.
Well, it's not hooked to my podcast for some reason. I got the phone call, so hang in there just for a second. Oh, he hung up. I wonder why it's not connected to my, let's see, settings.
All right. So I'll let you look at that.
It must have disconnected. It disconnected somehow. Let me reconnect.
So, don't you have to do it every once in a while anyway? Like
usually
that?
It lasts about 45 minutes.
Yeah, it makes a ding kind of deal.
See, I'm connected now, so we'll see if someone calls back. The calls are
not
going well today.
No. Yeah, and again, that number, in case you want to get hung up on again, is 678-723
Thank you.
1112, or as craps people would say, 6, the number 7, the most popular. Again, 8, 7, the most popular. 2, 3, 11, 12. So
I guess it's twofold answer. One, if you're not comfortable, my best advice is don't play at that level. But if you are like, hey, I can afford to lose it, I'm just not used to playing that level, but I kind of want to, you could do the same thing, usually scaled down, 66 inside or whatever, and you still have room to regress if you played a $10 table or $5 table or something like that. So, I don't know if I answered your question, but...
All right, let's see. Oh, my comments.
Holy Roller says 2 hits and regress is the way to go until it's not.
Yeah.
Just like all strategies, right? It's the way to go. This is the best strategy until it's not.
All right, let's see here. I
guess he did the math. You got 40 shots at the ATS.
Thank you so much.
The only problem is your odds of hitting it is like 1 in 190, I think, somewhere there.
Yeah, so I need
you're a little short.
I need to count out 150 or so first, and then it's due, right? It's due after that.
Yeah, count 150 misses, and then you should be okay.
Yeah,
and you'll win one. And now most payouts is only 150, so you're even short of that. So
let's see. How about what? Fa had another good question here. He said, "Why do they stop for hand pays above 1,200? Seems like they shouldn't do it. That if it's not a slot." We never.
Some of the machines are. We never got the answer to that. But my question is, when they do, because I haven't seen it. I've seen it like on YouTube. They are not issuing you W2Gs though, right? They're just stopping it and hand paying, because it hit that threshold. but they're not reporting it as taxable income, which is what they'd have to do with a slot at $1,200. So let me know if they're also issuing you a W-2G at $1,200. Because I've seen one guy, he was just winning $1,000 every time and just had to wait for a hand pay or whatever, but it would just keep playing. So if they're not issuing W-2Gs at $1,000 or $1,200, it's not a slot because they have to answer. Okay. Table games, you have to have a payout of 300 to 1. That doesn't exist on in craps. There's so if there's no 300 to 1,
then you don't have to worry about it.
There's no W-2G. That's why if you're giving you a W-2G at a $1,200 payout, though, it means they're having a hold, and potentially it could be a slot in whatever your jurisdiction is.
Okay. All right. Hey, I did get a question from me.
Okay.
And this one was Jim is from Shooter Craps.
This is a good question.
Why do you like the 3-point molly so much? Well, it is a nice little way for me and my limited bankroll style to play, number one. And number two, when I was learning the game, before I met Jeremy and Color Up, I had a bunch of these books here and even though they have different authors and different names, they seem to be in agreement that statistically that is the quote-unquote best way to play besides playing dark side, a three-point dolly. Yeah. So A, for bankroll reasons. One, it gives me a little micro hedge on those 2 and 3 roll bets. And 3, it's just real simple. It's automatic. I don't have to think about it. And then instead of pressing and worried about, hey, this press or that press, I'll just increase the odds by, 1 unit or single double odds, that kind of thing. So
mathematically, it is long term. It is the way to play. Jim's playing the smart mathematician way to play.
Yes.
Now he does bring up something which is kind of weird because most people you'll see they talk about. He says he does it to control or has a low bankroll. When you see most people suggest it, they go, you got to play max odds with it, though. And now it becomes one of the most expensive types
Jeremy,
of strategies.
I can't spend my whole life picking up cans. I mean, you got to pick up a lot more cans than that.
But if you've been around me long enough to know I've broken down the math, it doesn't matter. No odds, maximum odds. All that does is add volatility to how much you're playing. You're going to win more, you're going to lose more. You're going to win faster, you're going to lose faster. It doesn't affect the bottom line.
There was another one on here. I don't know if
you can add odds, add them, but Jim does it usually starting off with no odds, and that's a fine way to play.
And where was it at? Oh, here we go. Ricky also asked this one. He says, if you had to play on a $25 table with 300 to 500 in bankroll, what strat would you suggest utilizing? And I can tell you what I did the other night. In P-Town over here, I did a pass line with 6 and an 8, and I actually got up about almost $200, and then gave it back. And when I switched over to my old school Brian way, to the actually tried to go through and let me get that off of there. How did I get that comment off? Anyway, it's not getting off. Can you get it off?
Yeah, hi, current comment.
Oops, all right, thank you. But anyway, I switched back over to the 3-point molly, and then I had like four times trying to get a come bet established. I had back-to-back aces, which would have been great if you were doing a video on $200 or whatever and double it up. But yeah, back-to-back 2s and back-to-back 3s, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, don't play that. I don't. But I would recommend if you're going to do something, do either a pass line with the 6 and the 8, and that's about it.
Right. So I always like to say have enough for 10 shooters, right? $300 to $500 for 10 shooters. You got $30 to $50 per shooter. Yeah. So on a $25 tables, that gives you 1 to 2 bets, right? So 6 and 8, or pass line and a come, or it doesn't really matter. Pick the 5 and 9, or play a come bet and a 10, like whatever you want, or the field bet and a pass line, whatever you want.
Yeah, maybe you can do something. Yeah.
But you just kind of, to afford the ups and downs of this game, you got 1 or 2 bets per shooter to give yourself a chance. And yeah, other than that, you're risking too much of your bankroll at one time. and it could go well, but most likely you're going to spend a very short session there. If you're betting 6 numbers on a $25 table with only $300 to $500. So.
Yeah. Hey, Ricky also said that he's playing in Carolina and the tables are 90% of the time.
Save
25,
up.
Yeah.
Save up.
It stinks.
Visit
Ricky.
somewhere else. I know people hate to hear that. You got to have some control. I live in towns where there's gambling, and I don't always play. I just usually go on play on cruises now. But same thing when I lived in Colorado or Florida. Save up and go where the tables are cheaper. That's brutal how they do, you guys, especially on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I'm with you on the lay 4 and 10. Seems like when I lay, they come more often. When I place them, they can go
Not
on
so
droughts
much,
for 25 rolls. So frustrating. I mean, but that's any number, right? Like you bet on the 6 and 8. You're like 6 and 8, the most ways to roll, and then you never see a 6 and 8. It's just like it's the dice gods. I blame it more on the dice gods. They know.
listen to this. I was playing fantasy craps with Demon Dog Dice, our good buddy Chris, and there were so many 7s. It had how they have the little roll tracker and they keep distribution. And I want to say it was like 18 7s, and it had like 9 8s and 9 6s. So it was a 2-to-1 advantage, not over the 4 or the 10, but over the 6 or the 8. And you can imagine what it was on the extremes. It was just like, oh my God. But I will tell you this: whether you lay the 4 or the 10, or you're betting on the 4 or the 10, either way, I have found you're going to be a 2-to-1 disadvantage, because whatever way, it's going to go the opposite way. It's terrible.
Worry buyers being technical on me. There's no such thing as a random number generator. Those are calculations. There's no way to it has to be seeded somehow, right? So technically there is no such thing as completely random. There are variations of people have different formulas and seedings and all that try to get as random as possible. But technically, there's no way to be completely random.
All right, Gio had a question in here. How do you feel about horn bets, Jeremy? He usually stays away, but he's slowly playing them more. What do you like horn bets?
No.
You don't?
No.
And the reason is?
They're bad bets.
House edge very high?
The house edge is very high.
And how many rolls you get on those horn bets?
You get 1 roll.
1 roll.
I mean, they pay good, so if you can beat probability, they're okay. But the problem is, even if it rolls 2 probability, they keep such a large percentage.
You're going to be behind.
So you really got to go on a streak and beat the odds to win with those guys.
Okay.
If dabble in them, they're fun. The nice thing about them is they're usually cheap, right? So you can dabble them and have fun. Yeah. Holy Roller's a guy. I recently did his running with the bulls, which is a see a horn, bet a horn strategy, and it actually won, and he wins with it. So I think he likes the horn, but he says play big with your profits, YOLO.
Here's another. Go ahead.
I always thought it was required to bet pass line or don't until I watch your video. Yeah, misconception by a lot of people, but only required if you're shooting the dice.
That's right. Yeah. And you'll see a lot of people at DiceCon when we're out there might be just a shooter.
I know. I'm bad. What do you call it? Influence on a lot of players. Because most of my videos, I don't even have the pass line, and
we'll assume somebody else is shooting.
Yeah, it is the primary and basic and the best bet on the table, and I just
you got a 2-to-1 advantage for 1 roll.
First roll, first roll.
Yeah, first roll. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, here's one from one of our club members, and a really great guy with AI tools, I might add. But Crowd Pleaser asks, can you explain what a put bet is, and how is that different from a come bet, if anything? And is there any time it is beneficial? All right. Go ahead and tell Crowd Pleaser what a put bet is.
A put bet acts like a come bet or pass line bet, except for you get to choose the number. And
you bypass one roll, whether you could win on a yo or lose on a 2, 3, or 12.
So the only reason to do it is to then add odds, because let's say you use a put bet. You say, I want to put it on the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you put it on the 5, it is essentially a come bet, which gets paid 1-to-1. If you place bet on a 5, you get paid 7-to-5. So it doesn't make sense to just put it there on a number.
You have to add.
You have to add odds. And let me back up and say, and you bypass one of the huge benefits of a pass line and come bet, which is that Jim just mentioned, the 2-to-1 advantage for that first roll. So you're skipping the most advantaged part of the come bet, but the good thing is you get to put it on whatever number you want. So then then you go, okay, so if it's not better than, or a place bet pays better than a put bet, why would I put it? Well, then you can add odds to it.
Yes.
The problem is, for the math to work out and still make it better than a place bet, I don't know. I've made videos on it, but it works out. It's like 20 plus odds you have to put on the number for the math to then make sense. So almost no situation does it make sense to make a put bet, because it just doesn't pay well unless you're, I don't know the number. I think it may even be more. It might be like 25 times odds, and it depends on the number.
I'd have to go back and look at your video.
And it's very rare tables that offer that. You know, I think there's like one table in Kansas or something that now offers 100. If you can find like a $5 table and at 100 times odds, make put bets, max odds would be better than place bets, but it almost doesn't make sense. Now, a use case for it would be if let's say you're at table max on place bets, you can't bet anymore. Let's say you're at your $500 place bet on the 5. You want to bet more money on the 5. You could make a put bet on the 5 and then add odds. So you're kind of double dipping on the number. But again, I wouldn't do it. I would just go through the come. I know you don't get to choose it, but I don't know. But that would be a use case for it, is if you're maxed out for a place bet, or you're at a table with 100 times odds,
or you maxed out on a table with the 3, 4, 5 or whatever, and you want to get paid true odds on a 4 or 10 or whatever, and you want to get above that.
But if you're
threshold.
if you're on a table with 3, 4, 5 times odds, do not make put bets.
Yeah,
just place the bet. So if you have a come bet and you're maxed out on 3, 4, 5 times odds, and you want to get more money on a number, make a place bet. Don't do a put bet unless you're at a
because
at a table.
even at a 3, 4, 5, right?
Doesn't pay enough.
But you're right. It has to be 10 times or more. I
think it's 20 or more. So I don't think a 10 times table will get you there.
Okay.
It depends on the number, but it might be like 18 and then 23, or it's something. It's outrageous. You got to have a lot of odds that most tables don't offer.
Okay.
So that's a put bet. You get to choose where your come bet is going.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Yeah, great question.
Don't get that one very often.
No, it's a pretty rare bet, but there's not many use cases that it's beneficial to players. But if you're a pro player, you got to know.
Yeah, I got to watch out for this.
Ranch Hand Jeff said years ago he played at the Nugget in Reno at a $2 table. Too bad those don't exist. Yeah.
Yeah. What is a casino quest? What do they call it? A bird game? What's a $1 table or 50 cents or something?
25 cents. Yeah.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, bird game or something he would call it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's amazing. Amazing. Let's see. This is kind of funny. He said, Legend said, hey, last time he was in Deadwood, a guy tried making a put bet, and the dealer said they don't allow him. You would think they would want more money on the table, especially when you make a
put bet where you're always more likely to you're bypassing the advantage of the come bet.
The one advantage of it. Yeah.
A lot of time I see this every once in a while. He could have asked the supervisor or whatever, but sometimes dealers don't even know what a put bet is, and if they don't know they go. No. It's like many customer services. They don't know the answer. They just make crap up.
Right.
And so a lot of times you'll talk to a dealer, hey, can I lay this for, or can I make this buy bet at $25? No. Or can I make a put bet? No. They have no idea. So a lot of times you'll see dealers just make up answers. So I'd be surprised if they actually don't allow that, because it is so beneficial for them.
So I got one here. I've got a suggestion on. I said, this one here is hey, this is IR Steven says, any suggestions on practicing dice throwing if you don't have a table to practice on at home? And this was me when I first started playing. I wanted to not necessarily practice so much how to throw the dice, but I wanted to practice making the bets. And what I did was I got on the dining room table. This is even before I had a Amazon felt. I got on got out a piece of paper. I put some books around the edge of the dining room table and was just throwing them down the edge and getting the number, and would actually practice with some chips, moving them around and seeing where my money went. And that's a really good way for me to, that was a great way for me to kind of get me going. And then that got me on my way. And then I ordered a felt through the Amazon, and then blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, through the generosity of a Color Up Club member, I got some rails and, ordered the felt, and here we are. The Professor's Palace is a real thing.
I know a lot of people, the most important thing they talk about is like the landing zone. So trying to land in a specific spot. So I've seen a lot of people just put like a mug or some sort of jar, cookie jar or something in a spot, you put on your bed or whatever. And if you can narrow it down to hitting in that spot, you're doing pretty good. So you can work on like your location control, which would be a big thing, I guess.
If you're so inclined. If you're so inclined, yeah. And it doesn't hurt, like you said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it looks cool if you can land it in the same place every time, because then if something bad happens, it was, hit a chip or something else.
Jim is so old school. Oh, you're so old school with that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
It fits him though. The Professor Jim, the teacher, is playing old school, right?
I don't know. Maybe so. I tell, I'm going to be 58 June 30th. And I know what the internet's thinking. Wow, this guy doesn't even look 48. But I'll be 58 June 30th. And, yeah, you just get it.
We're going to be celebrating a birthday, huh?
On the day before, the day I go to on the cruise. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Wow. So the morning thereof, yeah, I'll have to mention it to the people at dinner and get an extra scoop of ice cream or something. So, yeah.
We'll try to embarrass you somehow.
Yeah, we can do that, I'm sure.
I haven't read this thoroughly, but let's read it now. I learned to play craps from your videos. Thank you very much. And I've tried playing, but I have come to realize all these betting schemes are just different ways to lose your money with other crazy people. Yes and no. There are no professionals at this game. This is a game for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, don't plan on. That being said, you certainly can win, and you can go on a stretch of winning, and you can have a lot of fun winning. But to think that you're going to quit your day job is not a thing. So do it for entertainment with discretionary, meaning money that you can afford to lose, and have fun with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is a fun game. Just don't have the hopefully through my videos you got that concept down of I do have to play the YouTube game of like adding clickbaitish kind of titles to get people to watch, but you'll never find me saying that, hey, you're going to win consistently or long term with anything I show you. I'm pretty upfront that saying long term you're going to lose.
The more you play,
so the more
better
you play.
chance of a loss.
Yeah, you win for your first couple of times, and you never play again, you're probably ahead, right? But if you go back and back and back and back, you will eventually give it back to the casino.
Can I also make a suggestion regarding this topic here? I think it's a nice way to get a really expensive Diet Coke. And
sometimes.
Well, and what I've noticed, though, is there's absolutely no difference in taste. And that's what I kind of love about Diet Coke. It took me a while to realize, and I heard a marketing man talk about this one time. He said, what I love about Cokes or Diet Cokes is, it doesn't matter who you are, the King of England, President of the United States, or the professor, he can't get a better Diet Coke than I can. But if I'm at a craps table, I can get a more expensive Diet Coke than he can. So,
well, some would argue that like McDonald's has a secret formula for their Coke. It's a little different supposedly, but I don't know if that's
really
true. Yeah. Google it, Jim.
Okay,
but
I'll have to check it out.
They say that there's something a little different, or how much the carbonation.
They got more bubbles.
I don't know what
bubbles.
it is, but
yeah. Okay.
So that's a thing. It might be what do you call it, conspiracy myth or whatever. But anyway.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm in Florida. Craps tables usually $25 on weekends. I'm sad to hear that they're up there, because when they started they weren't. Blackjack
and they've only had him for about a year now, right?
Right. Blackjack is even more brutal if you want 3 to 2 table. Usually $50. 6 to 5 tables with continuous shuffles, $25. That's 6 to 5 and continuous shuffle for $25. That is that is ridiculous. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I must be way behind the comments.
Yeah,
I'm seeing stuff
I am
that
too.
are.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to click on this, but I'll read it. Maybe I don't like craps now is because when I try to influence the dice, I throw 7s all the time. Stop trying to influence. Close them eyes and pray.
Yeah,
you'll feel much better, because if you try to control it and you fail, you feel like a failure. But if you just throw them down there like me and Jim, hey, and you have a good roll, because sometimes we get on some monsters.
Left hand, right hand, like, underhand, overhand. That? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm just good like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's much more fun when you can
rhythm rolling.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. Well, here, a follow-up question from Crowd Pleaser. He said, "Is it possible to have a place bet, come bet, and put bet all in the same number?"
I don't know about a come bet and a.
Yeah, I think you can. Why couldn't you?
Just because of how they would mark it for you. I could see some people saying no, because they would. A place bet goes on the line of the box, so that they can easily see where.
And a come bet goes inside the box.
Come bet goes inside. So if you had a put bet, it would go inside right where the come bet is. So I'm not.
But
sure.
It pays the same.
Right, but then it would be the same bet. They would just say, "You already have a bet here."
Oh, really?
And they would have no way to differentiate between it. Well, they don't care. They just didn't go through. But I think if you had a come bet on the 5 and you go, "Hey, I want to put the 5,"
or if you had a
they would just stack it on top of your come bet. And now you have.
If you have a come bet off and on the come bet, well, what about the put bet? The put bet has to come down.
Because, if you had let's say a $25 come bet on the 5 with some odds, and you said, "I want to put the 5," they would stack it on your come bet, and now you would have a bigger bet that pays 1-to-1.
Okay.
So I don't think
it's not practical, but yeah. But you don't think so.
I don't think so. But if you were at a table and asked, and we're like, "Hey, I'm at table limit on the place bet, the come bet. Can I make an additional?" That's a great question that I've never experienced that myself. I've never been at table max.
Maybe we'll ask before we start to play and say, "Hey, look, man, before I throw $50,000 on this table,"
that I guarantee you, if I don't know, these dealers do not know
either. Okay,
yeah, so
we tried.
That is a great question.
We tried.
I don't know the answer to, but logically, I'm going to say you can't do a put bet and a come bet.
All right. Here was another one I talked about. The 50-cent table at Hollywood Casino, Pennsylvania, online live roll has a 50-cent table. So online.
Lucky. Some state, what is there, like 3 or 4 states that have online legalized casinos? That's very cool. Yeah, 50 cents. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
And here's another one here.
A lot of stuff.
Holy Roller Brian says, "Most people like me need to practice the speed of the game. I feel like we all miss bets when the table moves fast. Always know your next move." 100% on that. And sometimes if you're tipping the dealer will take care of you. So if you're talkative like me and you're bull jiving, and they're saying, "Hey, well, I already got you." Or if I forget the odds, he's like, "Drop the odds real quick," or something. I forgot my comeback.
Especially if you're newer. Stick to things that you know, not too complicated. And I love the idea of getting a little at-home mat. It could be a $10 Amazon, whatever. Use some cheap poker chips. Get comfortable with the strategy that you like. Know how it pays, so you can be ahead of the game. Hey, if the number rolls, I'm going to get paid this, and my decision's already made up. I'm going to press this or change this number or whatever. and you kind of get the flow of it at home, so you're comfortable. That's a great suggestion to do.
And then Yuri in New Jersey, or NJ, said he's been following Color Up since its infancy. Taught me odds and knowing how much I'm supposed to get back in a win. And then he also made a comment on that he also, where's it at? Is it going? Hang on it. I'll get off it again, Jeremy. Here we go. And then this one was, he also bought some official dice to practice grips.
There you go.
He's pursuing the little thing on that one. And then, wait a minute. Our number one fan is back. And let me just say this. What
is hilarious?
I don't know what it was early. It was earlier. But let me say this. Naomi didn't have a good week. I was checking up on Facebook. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. I saw it and I sent it to you, but it wouldn't let me send the pictures. But anyway, Naomi, I'm glad you're okay and you were able to get back. No,
hopefully she's not in the hospital watching this.
She went back to work.
So you're more updated. I'm just not on Facebook ever, so I don't get this news about my family. But Naomi, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I mean
I hear this through Jim, but
yeah, we're pulling for you. I read your stuff. I don't know about your brother, but
it's not that I don't want to. I just don't get on Facebook. It's just not my platform of choice, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. No worries about it. And hey, Naomi does say it does taste different. So there you go.
FA said the syrup ratio is different.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. That's what they say.
Why would they do it just for McDonald's then? What is the deal?
It's probably their biggest client customer in the world.
Yeah. Huh. But why would they only give it to them if it was so much better?
Only difference between McDonald's Coke is they refrigerate the syrup lines going into the machine. I'm sure that might be the answer. I'm sure there is an answer and there's some truth behind this thing. But hurry up and AI this, Jim.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'll look through some comments.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll AI it. So, Chat GPT.
Yuri, your brain is quicker than your fingers, I think. But I think I could decipher that's true. I've forgotten to place a bet that I've always placed, and the dealer let. Yeah, I think he's saying that a dealer kind of helped him out when he missed a bet, and that's what they're there for. Usually they learn your strategy. They've seen it all, usually, if they're experienced. Naomi said, thank you. Sorry. Thank you to Jim, I should say, probably.
Oh, yeah. And I look forward to meeting you one day.
Yeah, when I saw her post, I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to call her and find out what's up. And then now Jim's telling me she's already out and back to work. So,
I think she was back the next day. Correct me if I'm wrong, Naomi.
Yeah, she's tough like that. All right. Good evening, guys, and everyone else. 6 days to Vegas. We got another one counting down. Yeah. I know Jim's counting down.
Very much so. Yeah. And I actually get to go too. Go ahead, sir.
David at CQ has suggested place bet on the 5 and 9 of $36 that pays $50. Why risk the additional $1? Do you guys do this? No. This is like prepaying a VIG on a buy bet. He does it because he's a dealer and it pays a smooth 50 and it makes it easier for the dealer instead of paying 49. And I get that you're being nice for the dealer that he can pay you 50, but if that bet loses, which it's most likely to lose, now you're just losing an extra $1. It's not a tip. The dealer don't get it. You don't get it. It just goes to the casino. So that's one thing. I know why he does it, but I don't agree. I don't get it. Like they could pay you 50 for one. Just say, hey, drop me $1 and pay you 50 still. Like so, or even if you're power pressing or pressing, there's easy ways to get around it. I don't get adding that extra $1. But he does mention a lot of times they'll just go to 36. So that's fine. I think he's come from a dealer's perspective, but mathematically, it's bad for the player. So yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. Right. He rewrote his thing. The dealer helped him. He's a great server. Okay, appreciate that your clarification. Jim, what'd you find out?
I do have Chat GPT.
Not that Chat GPT is the know all and be all, but they,
it's getting there.
A lot
it's getting there.
A lot of
all right, so feedback. It says, yes, many people say that the Diet Coke at McDonald's tastes different and better than the same soda served elsewhere. The 5 reasons are as follows. Stainless steel syrup containers. McDonald's uses stainless steel syrup tanks called bag-in-a-box systems, which are better at preserving the syrup's freshness and taste.
I like how this has become a Coke tasting McDonald's
yes,
show. Go ahead.
Yeah, we move along. Well, it makes sense for me anyway when you're talking about playing craps and getting a Diet Coke.
Yeah, it's a big part of the game.
It's a big part of my game.
We said this was an Ask Me Anything Gets Wild, so we're getting wild here.
We are. Number 2 was the pre-chilled syrup and water.
Which, yeah.
Who was that? Co-Legend or somebody?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Enters the fountain dispenser. Most places only chill the water at the point of mixing, keeping both components cold, maintain the carbonation and the overall flavor balance. That gets into more bubbles. Higher quality water filtration.
Okay.
The advanced water filtration systems ensuring the water used in the soda machine has minimal impurities.
I can tell you today I had a Burger King Coke. It was terrible. It was like the syrup tasted funky, so they must have dirty lines. It wasn't the same, or not filtered water or whatever. So there you go. But go ahead, continue.
Wider straws. McDonald's, and this is true, McDonald's has slightly wider straws than average, which can enhance the drinking experience by allowing more soda by the way, and aroma to hit your taste buds.
I'm going to interrupt you. I was at a Chinese restaurant, and they gave me almost like those, those like little stir straws that are so thin. It wasn't quite that small, but it's small. And I took a drink of them. I'm like, you know what? I wish more people would give these tiny straws because it's like a little bit shoots in there. I feel like the pressure's stronger. And it's like I can really enjoy because only a little bit comes in instead of like with the McDonald's straw.
No, I like the big straws.
Really?
I like the big one. Yeah. Now, if I'm drinking
it down.
I'm gulping it down. But if it's in a glass container and it's got a lot of glass, the little the little syrupy thing, like they usually put the what do we call this? Like the little thin straws, and I'll take a couple little sips on them. But yeah, that'd be the only time.
I love those. Yeah. In the casino, a lot of times you'll get them in the liquor glasses with the little tiny straw.
Yeah, with the straw. Yeah.
I love that. I just feel that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's what I like about it. Yeah. I like.
And then the last reason,
it's like
and
the last reason was
this
delicious soda syrup.
Was the frequent maintenance, because McDonald's has great maintenance, regularly
except
cleaning.
For their ice cream machines, right?
Yeah. Do they work ever? I don't know. I'm teasing.
That's the problem. I don't know what the maintenance. Although that's outsourced, right? FA says big straw for the win. Yeah. Naomi also says like the big. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably in the minority.
Hello, Naomi. Yes, thank you for backing me up on that one there. So, any other craps questions coming in? By the way, feel free to go ahead and dial that number. Again, it's 678-723-1112, and you'll go right to the phone that may or may not be connected to Jeremy.
It's connected, so we should.
It's connected, so
Neo
if anybody wants to just call and test it, that help us out, that would be great.
I'll press a 36, sometimes 40. I get pressing a 40, but you could press to 35. Like it's not a big deal.
All right. Yeah, there's that number.
Holy Roller's question.
Yes.
He's offering a contest. Do you guys want to have a contest on the post-IceCon cruise? We can compare strategies. So I am going on a cruise with Jim and Holy Roller.
Hey.
And no contest, because I'm just going to try to copy whatever he does to gain 1 million points and a dozen free cruises, because he's got it down pat. So I think I should just, whatever he does, just copy him bet for bet.
It depends on. I can only do that if I do really well.
Yeah, I mean, he might also be coming with like $3,000 of free.
You never
play
know.
Too, so
where my big ballers? Case. Meet me outside.
He's worked his way up with the free play.
Absolutely.
So he's done well. So he's got a little.
I guess nobody wants to talk to us tonight.
Jess said, "Can we talk crafts?" Yeah, just
give me questions, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jess. Yeah, we got off the thing. My problem, Jess.
So. We'll stop the Coke talk as soon as we hear questions. So.
And again, that was Diet Coke or Coca-Cola. It's got nothing to do. We don't want to get a strike with YouTube or anything like that. Let's see what else we got on there. Anything else?
No, but we've been over 60 minutes, so maybe Has it been? Yeah, maybe we just shut this sucker down. We don't have any craps questions. We've answered the questions.
We might have some. We still got 50-some people listening, though.
Yeah. We'll give you a chance. We'll just give you a chance, but otherwise.
Yeah, because we got
again. Happy Father's Day, the fathers. Yeah. What else? Yeah, that's it. DiceCon coming up. Registration's closed, so you can't buy a ticket, but it's for my club members.
I will say this about DiceCon.
We got a call.
Podcast.
Go ahead and finish up, and I'll.
No, go ahead, take them.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Hello, you're on the podcast with Jim and Jeremy.
Hey, this is Brian, Holy Roller.
Hey!
Okay. Speak of the man himself.
I thought he was falling downstairs.
Yeah, I know. All kinds of clatter. He's got all kinds of stuff going on over here. What's going on,
yeah,
Brian?
Sorry. The dogs might get wild. Hey, I wanted to say, Jim,
yes.
You know, it's your birthday. We'll be playing craps together on that night, right?
That's correct.
We're on the cruise on the 30th?
All right.
Yeah, that's the deep embarkation
birthday
day.
Cruise. Okay.
Not by plan. It's just the way it worked out.
So I have, to answer the question, I have $1,200 of free play.
Oh, my God.
And
now, will you use that all to hedge? Hedge your don'ts?
I usually use it all to hedge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is a lot of hedge money. Okay.
I'm probably going to use. Yeah. I think it'll work great.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell Jim, for your birthday.
Yes.
Okay. First round, I got all your odds on your 3-point Molly.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Now,
but
Brian,
let me just say,
they did.
Single odds.
Okay,
yeah, I was gonna say on the cruise
now to 3, 4, or 5 times odds on these Royal Caribbean. So you know,
no, single odds.
Odds. Yeah, that's what he's leaving me out. I got you, man.
So you're gonna let him bet $30.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
you. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it on the first
rolling.
one. Okay.
When he's rolling.
Okay.
So when he's rolling.
When I'm
nice.
rolling.
Very nice.
So on the first round, when you're rolling,
yes,
you do your bets. And I got your odds for you.
I should match that, but I'm a cheapskate.
No. It's going to be great. So I'm turning trash into cash. Now I'm turning paper into cash because I love it. No, thank you. That's awesome. What a great birthday present.
Because if you roll good,
heck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is free play. It is free play, but
it can convert.
No, hey,
I'll use some
it's
of it
not
for me and some of it for you.
It's
there
not.
You go.
They call it free play, but it's not free. You earned that money.
Yeah, you did.
The hard way. So fair and square. So you paid your dues for that money.
Oh, and I will show you guys how to. I'm going to show you guys how to get more free play than most people get. That's a little secret. I'm going to show you when we're on a cruise together.
There you go.
Looking forward to it.
We're getting the inside scoop.
It's going to be epic.
Yes,
epic.
It should be a good podcast the week after. Although I'm
looking forward to DiceCon.
I'm still thinking about going back to back though, so I might not be available that following week. I don't know if I've told you this, Brian, but
he's talking about this, Brian.
My
Listen to what he's doing.
I might be turning right around on the 4th and going out for another 5 days on that ship to Cabo, I think, or something like that. But
I was looking at that too. Why make the trip? Why make the
exactly?
Trip?
You're already there.
No, sorry.
Oh, did Amber say no? Okay.
Amber's not coming on this one, so she won't let me do a back-to-back.
Fair enough. Well, my wife's like, we're going on a 4-day. 4 days so lame. Let's just make it into a 9-day. I'm like, yeah, but I got to work sometime. So I don't know if I can get enough work done. It might be too late. All of my offers might expire, but they usually send me that offer a lot.
You have created an absolute monster, Brian.
Yeah. Well, Brian sent me his cruise list.
The biggest cost.
And the
biggest cost is getting there and getting back.
Yes.
So if you can get there, stay there, and then come back.
Yeah, you're double dipping for only one travel fee. Yeah. All right. Yeah, DiceCon. We'll see you there, Brian, soon enough.
Yeah, it'll be there.
Adios.
Bye, Brian. That was
Jason. Do either of you two believe in trends and dice for short-term betting? Jim, go ahead.
I'm going to say, do I believe in a trend? I believe that what the previous numbers were rolled, yes. Does that have any impact on what's coming up? No, but I don't know. I know we have YouTubers. Last year at DiceCon, Hunter Killer, and he was writing all his stuff down. And hey, I'm happy no matter what you're betting on, but I cannot see how the dice know what rolled before. So
there's only 11 numbers, so if the trend tells you to bet a number, you got a good shot at picking the right number because there's only 11 of them.
11, so you got a 1 out of 11 chance.
Yeah.
As long, I don't know. To me, no, I don't. But I'll tell you this: I am ecstatic, Jason, when I say off and on with my come bets. I mean, there's no greater screaming person at the casino than me. But what about you? What do you think?
Trends happen. A trend, I guess, would be anything outside of the realm of the typical dice pyramid, right? Or distribution of dice. So if there's a trend and the 6 and 8 keep rolling for a bunch of rolls, then the 6 and 8's trending.
Right.
But it can turn on a dime. That's the problem. And there's no professional craps players. If there was a way they could take advantage of those trends, they would do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Great stream, especially the straw size debate. Agreed. More straw
size well, that's debates. What's keeping people around, Jeremy.
What's your predictions for longest roll at dice? By the way, I somehow let it slip, but I ordered the medals.
The medals, yeah.
Like 2 days ago, and it says it's going to get here between Friday and Monday. So it's going to be real tight. So hopefully I have them I should have them by closing night when we award them, but opening night, hopefully I have the medals.
And you can show
hey, this is what you're going to win if you have the longest roll.
Podcast.
And I can't remember,
here we go.
But we've had various lengths of rolls. I don't know the overall. I'm sure in the 50s. We usually have some pretty good rolls during DiceCon. So, caller, you're on the air. Who do we have with us?
Sounds like Brian. Brian, did you butt
I think
Dallas?
He's listening to Brian. Turn down the YouTube and talk to us on the phone. What's up?
Okay, I give up.
He gave up. Okay.
He gave up. You were on the air with us.
Yeah, we just
You're going to hear us here in a minute. The problem is there's a delay. So you're on with us and you were listening to the YouTube.
Just like the old.
And then you gave up.
Just like the old days on talk radio. Turn your radio
YouTube down.
Yeah.
Just listen to your phone. You made it through. I had you there. And so there's a delay.
So what do you think? What's going to be a prediction?
This year we're going to go big. 64.
Whoa. And the big
hopefully
question
I'm on
is,
the table. Hopefully I'm on the table.
Is it going to be a random roller or is it going to be a dice influencer / dice controller?
Usually the top 3 are mixed. It's never all controlled shooters. One time I think I would have won second, but I'm not allowed in the competition, I think, or something.
No, you were. You got it.
Or maybe I was still everyone beat me because I was.
Yeah. I think somebody broke your record last year or whatever, the year before.
I think I had like 56 or something like that, or I don't know, but they happen. And it's really fun when there's a group of club members together and it happens.
Oh, my gosh. I will say this, on the ATS, I was the luckiest guy in the club last year. I think I was on the table 3 different times. And with the actually, I think 4, but I was only betting 3 times on there. What's this one? Todd, is it? No. I was just going to say, hey, when you win on the ATS early at DiceCon, it keeps you around a lot better.
You get some
little boost,
change in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. So Todd says, is there truly a difference between waiting for the come-out roll to bet and just placing your bet on the first roll? Aren't the odds of a 7 rolling the same either way? Thanks. The answer to that,
mathematically, it makes 0 difference.
Yeah.
Some people will say you wasted a roll, by waiting. Some people say you saved yourself from that 7 being on the first roll. So, but
what about the 5 count and all this stuff?
You're trying to take. You're talking. You're getting into the trend conversation again. It just, if you wait 5 rolls, are you now closer to the 7?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you? And you missed out, or did you miss out on 5 good rolls?
Or did you just miss out on, you protected yourself from 5 short rolls, very short rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're hoping to hop on
the long train.
Hop on the long train, right? So
but
you've
then
eliminated all the short rolls because you're not participating. So if you waited, are your chances of increasing of hopping on the long roll? I don't know.
But the thing that gets me, you eliminate all those short rolls, but you still have all the, there are rolls that go 6, there are rolls that go 7 times. So you're just postponing the
as soon as you jump in. But like you said, it's always 1 in 6. Always 1 in 6. So whether you wait 1 roll, 5 roll, 100 rolls, your chances of losing it all is 1 in 6. So.
Okay.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't know last year's longest roll, man. I'm sure it's posted in DiceCon.
I think it broke your record. I want to say it was 50 something.
Well, here we go. 10-man was in third at 38. I think the longest was in the upper 40s. So maybe we didn't reach the 50s last year.
I think whatever it was, it beat your whatever year you won it. So
okay,
yeah. And the year you won it, we were at Binion's, and you went on that heater.
Neo says the longest roll was 48.
All right, so. Thank you.
And Neo. I'm saying 64 this year. Did you take a guess this year?
No, I did not. But I'm going to say 52.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I don't know. Maybe it might be me throwing left-handed and with my eyes closed.
As the
winner. Yeah, I'm going to call myself out. Yeah. No, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It could work.
Oops. Brian is yelling at us that he always wants at least 1 bet working on every roll. So there you go.
Okay.
If he's there to gamble.
Yeah.
What is ding? That just means knocked off, I think. Because this earlier someone said initial come out I'm working. Once I get dinged, I will be off.
Yeah.
I think that means
picked off, you lose.
Come out, but if it picks off or loses, then he'll stop doing that.
Yeah, that's what it means on that.
64 rolls is a lot. Maybe did I go too high? We've had it happen. I don't think it's too high. And this year is going to be the year, especially since this is the last year. So
this is the last year. This year, someone will hit 60. Oh my gosh!
I'm telling you.
Hey, I hope I'm at the table, and I hope
I know.
they roll the ATS twice or 3 times, and at some of the casinos they'll let you like rebet it again, and I know the MGM properties, I think they let you do that and increase it, and all. So that would be really cool. That would be
turn
really
your trash into cash and the ATS win. That would be.
Oh my gosh, I'm hoping it hits.
So will you play all tall and small?
Yeah, I'll do 5-5-5. I think I'll do 5-5-5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see. And I'll keep track of it on my little book over here. So.
And if you're at a casino that doesn't offer that,
I'm not playing.
Won't play it.
Yeah.
Keep the money in your little satchel. And wait till casino with the all tall
100%.
So it is complete. Is it in a separate baggie, clear plastic baggie?
It will be in a baggie. Yeah, I'll put it in a little baggie because I don't want to get it mixed up with the other stuff. So, yeah. And who knows, maybe I don't hit the whole, all in the tall, but maybe I hit the small, and then that goes into the baggie, right? 150 more goes into the baggie. I don't have to. There's a lot of ways to get around this. You don't have to hit them all to make it win.
What do you think about just betting the small and the tall and not the all? So you've got it covered both ways, but there's more likely that you hit one side or the other.
Yeah, but don't you want that home run shot if you get it though? But yeah, you're right. I could play a lot longer with that. Mm-hmm.
2/3 longer, or a third longer.
Yeah, a third. Yeah, that was true. A third longer. So my 40 rolls, if it was a third longer, would be another 13, right, or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Something to think about. Oh, inside marching.
But then you're gonna feel like a heel when all the numbers roll in your
I know. I'm gonna feel like I
bet the small.
Yeah, I was just like.
All right, everyone gets paid $150. That guy right there, though, he's only getting paid $30 for this.
Yeah.
Well,
inside
$60.
Inside marching. Soldier.
There's other games
there.
you could play.
Yeah. like stack them all on the 6, like feed everything to the 6.
Do you change how you bet when you're the one rolling? Because you called yourself getting the longest roll. So
I did, and so I'm saying it right here, right now. And when we come back from the podcast and the cruise, if I don't win it all this year, then I'll be disappointed. So
yeah,
and I'll be really upset if it's some dice controller influencers that's hitting the same spot every time.
It's going to be.
It's going to be. That's right. But
so answer the question.
Oh,
do you bet?
Do I bet? No, I don't. I bet the same way all the time. How about you?
In my mind, I feel like I can be more aggressive, but I usually play the same. Now, earlier I mentioned how I've been playing lately.
Right.
I do have to variate my strategy because when I'm shooting, I got to play a pass or don't. So in that aspect, I'm at an extra bet. So if I'm doing a pass line, sometimes I'll be like, I might as well add some odds, or
right.
I might as well play a little bit different and not hedge. So I guess a lot of times I do that. I don't hedge when I'm shooting, and I just go for it. So I guess in that aspect, I am betting more aggressive.
I will say this: when I'm playing, when I'm rolling the dice, I will always bet on myself on the ATS, because there are no worse feelings in the casino when you roll. You go on a monster roll, especially with me because of the conservative quote unquote style that I play. You go on this monster roll, and then I don't even get a lot of repeaters. And then I hit it or whatever in 15, 20 rolls. And then I'm just sitting there looking around. Everybody's like screaming, and they got 25, quarters across the thing. And I'm just sitting there, you big dumb. So no worse feeling in the casino.
I've done that a couple times, rolled the ATS and no bet. And then I swore I'm always going to, when I'm at least shooting, I got to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten away from that because I haven't rolled an ATS in a very long time on a real table.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a while, I think. And that's another way I love to, at least when I'm rolling, and it is bet for the dealers that way, 1-1-1 at least. But
I can't remember if it was the pregame at Ellis Island last year, or I'll have to look at my photos. Or it was the first night of dice con.
Hit right away or something.
I was the first one at the table, yeah. And then somebody else hit one, I think, after that.
Like 3 shooters away or something like that.
Yeah. I think, oh, shoot, I can see him in my mind. His spot, he was stick right. Daggone, I can't think. But is a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Steeler Mike.
Okay.
Steeler Mike got it. I think Steeler Mike got it. So. Do is grammatically correct when used for emphasis. There you go.
Thank you. I do consider myself a decent dice influencer. I always bet more aggressively when it's my role. Yeah, typically you'll hear that from guys, dice influencers. They usually bet on themselves bigger. So, or no, some of them are I won't bet on anyone but myself. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen those people, and then I've seen it, and it breaks my heart when they. They do 0.7 out because it was a bad toss or it was a bad pitch.
Something happened.
It breaks my heart. Yeah.
I tried your lay 10 strategy, but instead of the lay 10, try it with $30 don't pass with 4 boxes. After our one hit, pulled down one number and just let it resolve and gray. Yeah, I don't know what 4 boxes mean.
So you got 4 bets up. He laid the 10 and had 4 box numbers up, right? Is what he's saying.
Oh, okay, like 44 inside with a $30 don't pass.
I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do that too. Like sometimes, and that's kind of more the way like Brian plays. I'll switch up between a lay bet and a don't pass. Either way hedges it just as fine. The don't pass is if you can get past that, come out roll, it's a better way to hedge it because it pays 1-to-1, where the daggone lay only pays half. You're paying 1-to-2. So.
Twice as much to win half as much in a lot of cases.
At that point, you don't feel too good.
No.
When it hits.
No. And it looks like it was Steeler Mike. And like I said, I was right. Yeah, he went on a big one there.
129, 50 seconds left. Should we wrap it up? It seems like we got a little flurry of questions. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anything going on, Jim?
Actually, yes. I'm going to leave with my buddies tomorrow. We're going to go.
Oh, I meant to like tonight that you got to get off the air real quick.
Oh no! I have nothing tonight.
Besides that, it's getting late. It's starting to get late on the East Coast.
I don't really care. I don't have to get up and go to work in the morning, but I will get up gladly and go work out with my with the wrestling team and my buddies who coach the wrestlers. So I'm going to get up tomorrow and do that. But what I started to say was going off to Washington, D.C. to see the Nationals play. And we're going to go one game, maybe two. And my buddies are talking about they want to go to a casino.
Like a double header or just two different days?
One night, one the next night. So the first night we're going to go, we're going to be behind home plate in the really posh seats with everything like that. So absolutely. So anyway, that's what I got.
Great night. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
McDonald's pays extra for it. I think that was in reference to the conversation.
Definitely
maybe?
To the Diet Coke. Mm-hmm. Must be.
Well, it sounded like it's all on their end. They're getting better equipment.
Yeah.
Cleaning better. Spending money on making stuff colder.
Doesn't and that's like that came from the comment from Matt. It looks like, but is that M stand for? Hold on a second. I'll pull it up. Does that M stand for Matt or does that stand for McDonald's? Don't know. Maybe he's
his initials are MD. He's missing the C.
Yeah.
Bill, hello from Culver City, and we're starting to say goodbye, and you're saying hello.
Hello again.
Isn't that a good song? I went to the Beatles song. Hello, goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah. I got
Jim heard me rapping today.
Yes, that was incredible. For those, is it still on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on here. I'll share the link.
Throw it in there. So
I don't know if it disappears.
For those of you who are fans from the 80s, hey Bill, no worries. For those of you fans of the early rap thing, so we're going back Run DMC, and the next big one after that, or about the same time, was LL Cool J. Yeah. And I think it was his second or third album. He had a song called Mama Said Knock You Out. Mama said, I'm going to knock you out. And don't call it a comeback. I've been there for years. I
love that.
Anyway, so it was his second or third album. And then Jeremy has a friend who is a school teacher, math teacher, calculus teacher. And then Jeremy, so I guess the teacher wrote the lyrics, but he needs some help making the video
he was like,
happen.
Hey, I got this math lyrics and stuff. Can you fit it to a song? And I'm like, yeah, I got the song. And then we worked on this is the melody, so let's change the lyrics. He got the lyrics, so he gave me that. And then he's actually the guy in the video, as you
He's the performer, the actor.
He's the performer. And then I filmed and made the video, but then it's me actually rapping and then, produced.
He's lip syncing.
I had to add some effects and double my voice
But it was a really good parody.
It's me rapping.
It's Jeremy rapping, and the guy did a nice job of dressing up like LL Cool J. It had the mic coming down from the ceiling like it was a boxing match in the old days when the mic would come down from the ceiling. I guess they still do. I don't know. Michael, was it Buffer or something? I don't know. Anyway, and he did a nice job of rapping to that. So I thought it was a really good job. So you did a nice job rapping. He did a nice job pretending to be LL Cool J, and it was a great parody for math. So well done on both parties on that. So please enjoy that at your leisure.
Yeah. Other than that, it took some tweaking in the. It's not, what do you call it, where they pitch it and all, they fix it and all that stuff. Auto tune that didn't exist.
No, this is the old days.
But, but I did have to EQ it and add some reverb and stuff because I'm not a singer. But there we go. Enjoy that. Yeah, Weird Al is basically it. What do you call them? Spoof songs or?
Yes, parodies, spoof song, whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
Weird Al's still kicking. He says he's at the Venetian this Saturday.
Yeah,
good. For
somebody
Weird
was
Al.
talking. Yeah, because somebody said that in the comments. I said I might go check that out because I think there's some people getting there early. That might be a fun little show.
Yeah, Weird Al. Yeah, he does all the hits, right, except for in his own parodies. Changes all.
Oh yeah, I Lost on Jeopardy. Those old songs from the '80s. I don't know if he's parodied anything newer on that.
He was checking in. Weird Al's a legend. Got tickets to 2 of his concerts when he heads north. Wow, so he's on tour apparently currently.
Doing very well.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him.
One
thing we're not doing in Vegas this trip, right, is going to the Sphere, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I did not go last year to the Sphere with the Color Up Club because I love my wife and I wanted her to come and experience the Sphere.
And you can go anytime.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I said we go every year to DiceCon, so I said I'll save it so we can just wasn't that cool? And then the tickets were $30 last year, $34.99 with the fees. And then I looked on today during Father's Day lunch. I was going to buy them, and the cheapest ones I could find at the time in the little section that I was looking at for the day, it was like $170. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I looked at a different day because I thought it was because of Saturday, high demand. But no, they're expensive all the time. And then Jeremy confirmed it with AI, and it says they are up. What'd you say? 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, 4 times.
4 times as much.
Yeah, 4 times as much. They increase the prices. And I understand for concerts, whatever. It's a huge experience. People go in, but this is their regular movie that they play all the time. And when you go,
Planet Earth or something.
The place is empty. You could pick any seat you want, but it's like $120 is for like the back row at the top. On down to like $500 for an empty theater playing the movie that they play 5 times a day.
5 times a day. Yeah, I'm not supporting that. I'm not supporting that.
I mean, you would think you'd want more people in the building, not less. But
if you lower the price, you'd get more people in there, and maybe they're buying more drinks and stuff.
Maybe it's like the people are going to go, and so we might as well rape them with the price. That's probably an extreme term. But, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Of speech. But I'm not. I was planning on going too, but it's like, wait a second. I'm going to pay $300 plus all the fees to take me and my wife go with you guys. Like, I mean, experience ain't that cool, is it?
No. And listen, I haven't been all the way around the earth, but I've been to a few places on it, and now I kind of know what it looks like. So,
yeah.
But anyway, no, that was kind of neat. And then, wait a minute. Now, this is the guy who's a legend, Ron White at the Cosmo.
Who's Ron White?
You don't know the comedian Ron White?
No.
His most famous bit is "They call me Tater," and you don't remember that one? He was drunk in the bar, and they threw him out. He threw him outside the bar. He was drunk in public, and he's like, "Well, hey, I wanted to be drunk in the bar, but they threw me out. Now I'm drunk in public." Yeah, he was with that whole comedy. Blue Collar Comedy Tour with Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy. I pulled up his picture and I still don't know the guy. Bill Enval, Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, and Ron White.
I remember Larry and Jeff Foxworthy, but this guy fell through the cracks for me.
Yeah, he was more, he'd drink and get drunk, and I'd say get drunk. He would tell, more not as family-friendly stories, I guess. Yeah.
I may have been born yesterday, but not last night.
There you go. Oh, yeah, prices. Exactly. Yeah, 100% on that. Oh, my God.
Maybe they'll go on sale at some point or something. I don't know. But, we checked like Tuesday, the middle of low season, and it's like... Yeah,
no good.
I don't get it.
No bueno.
Not at all. This year. Not this trip.
So anyway, there are other cheap bargains in Vegas.
There are a lot of opportunities for entertainment in this town.
That's right. Yeah. So that's good. So the only thing we got to worry about if you're going to be driving in Vegas now is parking. So we're going to have to make sure if you go driving around to the different places, are you going to park in the big garage downtown when we're playing? Are you going to be staying with some of us, or did you figure it out?
I haven't really got that far. I know I steal my brother's platinum card to park any MGM property, but that doesn't help downtown.
Right. I think that parking, what do you call it? Garage, Zilla or something.
Garage Mahal.
Garage Mahal or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've rented a car and parked there before, and it didn't seem like it was crazy expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. You could surface street without a roof over, for real cheap. But I don't know. Usually I park at the Nugget all the time because it's the place I stay or whatever. And I think they'll if you play some or whatever.
Well, I'm going to be staying there.
Parking.
Yeah, I'm going to be staying there if that helps.
Oh yeah, if you're staying there, you just say that you're staying there, and they'll validate your parking too. So.
No, what I'm saying, I won't have a car there, but I'm saying if you want to drive down there.
Yeah, if you're a hotel guest, I got you.
I could, I could get you on that one. So
TI has free parking. Yeah,
all right.
There's certain places, but we're looking for downtown, so it's not a big deal. But usually you can
get something pretty cheap. Although paying for parking, that was a lot of the things we were talking about. What's wrong with Vegas? Yeah, it's like, why?
Reno, it's not a thing. I mean, and they have, they say, well, garages are expensive. All the casinos, not all, but most of the casinos in Reno all have garages. They're free. They're going to make their money. Okay, you're going to charge someone $20, $40 to park. If they come in and gamble, you're gonna make that money back in 5 minutes, right? Just
just don't. You know what I mean? Don't be greedy. Yeah.
I know that literally garages are tens of millions of dollars, but it's whatever. It's part of your doing business. What? Whatever.
Yeah.
Dice con on a cruise. We've tried to kind of pull that off, and if you're a Color Up Green member, I always post. It's very difficult to get everyone to be able to their schedules to coordinate.
Yeah.
And the expense of going. Although it's
where are you
it's
going
really
out of?
Cheap,
yeah.
Vacation, but you get people
very cheap.
The port, the travel to the port it's tough to get more than couple people to go. So it's always been an idea that I'd love to do, but it's just logistically, I don't know that'll happen. I know there's certain people that have like Heavy Halton one. He was like, I don't know how many people join his thing, but he kind of always advertises a yearly cruise. But then again, you run into the problem. Most of the ships have one table, so you don't want more than 5, 10 people, right?
Yeah. Although even most cruises aren't. The craps tables aren't.
Craps tables usually not full and packed.
Yeah, it's more like a training. Yeah, it's more empty. It's a training table, and then some of the bigger Royal Caribbean ships do have 2 on there. So we'll see, but that would be neat to think about it.
Oh, travel advisor for
There you go.
There you go.
Craps, yeah. So learning the inside tips. Yeah.
I started watching Color Up a year ago. Went to Laughlin for Mother's Day. Proceeded to lose $800 on crapless craps, bubble crabs. Wait. What kind of video? Actually, I have done some crapless crab videos.
You've done crapless crab before, not a lot.
It, but he played on a real table and won it all back. So I'm glad to hear that you won it all back.
Yeah.
I will take the credit and the blame. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else doing anything? What you got?
Bill says you need to work with a travel agent for a cruise experience. I haven't worked with a travel agent, and I keep getting free cruises, and my experience has been great. I don't know what else they would add to it, but I'm all ears. But I've had a great year of cruising.
Using Brian Holy Roller Brian's wonderful methods, right? Or you changed a couple of them. You don't play his way.
Yeah, I mean, I play what he
light and darkness.
Yeah,
you hedge. But it's not light and darkness specifically.
Sometimes I do, but yeah.
Really? At that big level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually not that big level, but I'm learning that's important is to play at that level. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good. What's up?
Hey, great.
New to the game, 60 years old, went to Vegas for my first time, stood around and watched a lot, and now I've got Crapsy on my computer at home. Is there any basic strategies for a new guy to focus on, just a couple, so I don't get overwhelmed with trying to learn everything?
What have you seen that you like that kind of interests you?
Hard to say. There's just so much going on at the table.
Yeah.
Usually with beginners, I usually suggest, just like most people, would be to do a pass line bet, which the dice determine which your number you then bet on, right? And then once the puck moves to the number, bet the 6 and 8. So these are both mathematically great bets, and these are dice probability great bets.
House edge low.
House edge low. Likely you're going to have 3 numbers. Pass line 6 and 8, 3 great numbers. And usually most strategies I like to have like 3 numbers anyway. So this is a great way that you're kind of picking your 3 numbers. And just play that way for a while. You're going to lose a little bit. You're going to win a little bit. And you will get comfortable at the table this way. And then, as you're watching more videos or whatever, you can either add more bets or play different ways. But I would say instead of spending your time watching like you were, is to actually get on the table. And if you can't afford the 3 bets, just bet the 6 and 8.
Yeah, 6 and 8.
Great bets and high probability of winning. But I would say just don't overcomplicate it. There are so many different ways and strategies to play, and none of them are going to increase your chances of winning. You bet on some numbers and hope that they roll is bottom line. So I think that's a great way to start, is either the 6 and 8 or the pass line in 6 and 8. See what happens until you get more comfortable.
Can I throw something out? And
please.
That would be when you get going, try to pick the not so busy times to play if you can. So always go cheaper, lower level tables. So if you can find a $5 or $10 table, probably $10 is what it's going to be if you're going to Vegas off the strip downtown. So $10, try to play in the afternoon or in the morning before it gets real busy at night, and you'll feel a lot more comfortable. The dealers will have more time to, help you out if you have any questions or anything. And then if you get up a little bit, and you could do some things like pressing a number. If you get up and maybe 2 hits and you regress or something.
Yeah, if you've won a couple times with that pass line 6 and 8, add another number or something like that. You can mix it up.
6 and 8, you got 10 combinations out of the 36. Mm-hmm. And if you throw the if the point's 5 or 9, you got 4 more, and you're getting pretty close to almost half. And if you want to do something, and I don't recommend this, but if you just wanted to do something else, if you got up a little bit, if you didn't want to press, maybe you try a field bet or something, so you get some more combinations out there. But that's kind of like hedging a little bit, and I really wouldn't recommend that. I think Jeremy says long term not to do it. It's a churn on it. And the other thing is, if you're playing at the cheaper level table, maybe they can let you, it's not table minimum, which I don't know. I think everybody's going to be table minimum even at 5, right, Jeremy? Even at $5 table? Yeah, okay. $5 table. Most places are still going to make you bet a table minimum of $5 to be in the field, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So, it's not like on a cruise.
The problem is, like even me, I have 600 videos that you can watch. So I'm not going to point you in any direction besides, hey, in your spare time, watch some videos and see what you're drawn to. You're going to see when you're watching them, some are more aggressive and like, geez, that's a lot of money at risk. And some of them be like, oh, okay, it kind of slowly gets into the game, like how Jim plays as a pass line and then 2 come bets, So maybe you can watch some and see what you're comfortable with. But beyond that, I would just say, hey, pass line in 6 and 8, and just watch and get comfortable at the table, and then you can expand. That would be my suggestion. Does that help anything at all?
Show. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Good luck on your first time playing, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was playing.
And thanks for watching.
Yeah, that was exactly how I played first time at MGM Grand at the real table. And I told you the story, the first time, it was $10 in the morning. So I had a $12 6 and 8. And then I went up to 18, and then I pressed a 24 and it hit, and I won $28. And I'm like, yes. And the guy says, yes, sir. Makes you wonder how we stay in business. Badger Jim.
Yeah, if you don't understand the bet, don't make it. So if you see the guy next to you throwing out stuff, you don't have to copy him. Just bet what you understand. And for your first couple times, it's no big deal just to bet a couple numbers. Keep it super simple. You'll get there. And then you'll see, whether it's through videos or watching live play, I kind of like how that guy's playing or whatever, and you'll kind of get the feel. But there's no magic. I wish I could steer you to this one's going to win more than others, because a lot of strategies, like at the end of all my videos, I show how Jim plays the 3-point molly, and then the opposite, the 3-point dolly. And depending on the dice, they go inverse, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, so you never know which is going to win. So I wish I could push you and go, hey, this is the way to play, but there's not the way to play, unfortunately.
No, there is no.
But I think kind of the 6-8 and the pass line are a great combination of, those are numbers that most people pick anyway.
Probability,
dice probability, low house edge. Mathematics are working for you. There's a lot of great benefits to just sticking to those. And more people should play that way, but most people are like, they get bored. They want to gamble more. But if most players stuck that way, the casinos wouldn't be doing that well. But at human nature, we just go, I can't. It's too plain and boring.
When I was learning to play, I'd see these guys and they'd buy in for $1,000 and they'd go across the boxes, all the box numbers. They go across and they're $25. Hard ways this, hard ways that, like a field general out there, and they're barking out orders, and they're like, wow, he's in control. Next thing you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, all his money's gone. Yep. Yeah, it's just like crazy. So, but yeah, good. Happy Father's Day to the Jim as well too.
If you have promo chips that only pay 1-to-1 as a put bet suggested, can you play odds with real chips with that idea?
I had a comment on that.
Well, a come bet would be better than a put bet. So go through the come.
If they'll let you. Some of them will just say on the pass line or don't pass.
Yeah, some they're real funny about promo chips.
Yeah.
There are different kinds of promos. Some, like you said, they will only let you play on a 1-to-1 bet. A lot of times you'll see that with coupons or whatever.
Right.
And some don't care. It's real free play chips, and you can play it any way you want. But some promo chips, they keep you to 50-50 bets, and sometimes they're just like it goes back to the conversation. Does the dealer even know what a put bet is? A lot of them know.
Probably
so they may not let you. They'd be like, no, you're placing the number. We don't allow that. We only allow a pass line or a come bet. But a come bet's going to be better for you anyway.
Yeah.
So
and plus
if you really wanted to choose your number and they would let you make a put bet, I mean, maybe. But again, it's just smarter just to go through the come.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you don't get to choose your number, but the dice are going to choose a number for you. But you can't pass up that 2-to-1. The game is resolved 33% of the time on that first roll.
Yeah, one out of every
you're 2-to-1 favorite, so don't skip that first roll.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a grandma in New Jersey went on a 3-hour roll. Patricia D. I forget her full last name, but never heard these long roll stories on bubble craps. If you join the Facebook groups, I don't know about because that's like a once in a lifetime roll, but you'll see 60, 70, 80, 90 rolls on bubble craps machines, and people post pictures of them in these groups. So I
did hear of a guy from Virginia. I want to say a week or two ago. One of our club members sent us one of the other podcasts, and they were interviewing the guy.
I like how we were going to end the podcast, and now we're another 30 minutes in. But that's what tonight's about. Where we just chit chat. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. So we had a guy from Virginia went on I think it was 74 roll heater. I think it was. So I think it was 74. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was 100 rolls. But anyway, I could maybe look it up. But the guy went on this monster roll, and they interviewed him. He was a dice influencer. His name was Jim. He's from Virginia. I think it's James A. Maybe his name is James. And he was interviewed. I want to say it was on Casino Tears, Ed's channel, and somebody sent that to me. 107 rolls. Thank you very much. In Atlantic City. And he got there. He was on a comp flight, went right to the table, and I think he rolled, if I remember correctly, 3.5 hours, 107 rolls. I can't remember what it was. And that was interesting to hear them. I don't know if that's exactly what it was, but that's what they what they're claiming. And there were other people who were there who are regular players in the craps community, and there were pictures taken of him doing it, which I thought was pretty amazing. So, he hit the ATS and went on it. So, yep.
Badger asks, what is your favorite place to eat in Vegas? Curious minds want to know, Jim.
I really don't have a favorite place. I'll tell you this, Badger Jim. When I win the ATS, I like to take and immediately blow the money, not gambling, but I'll go out to a really fancy place. When Bonnie Boo and I were here a couple, 3 years ago, and I hit the ATS, we went to, I think it's called Spa or something. It was at the Bellagio, and it was really fancy. And I think like Caesar salad was like $60 or something, and that was for but if you wanted chicken on it, it was another $30 because it was very special chicken. But yeah, it was like $100 a plate and all. But yeah, I really don't have a fave. I'm not really a foodie. My food is kind of like my vehicles. I just look at it as transportation. I look at my food as energy. As long as it's not doing anything bad to me and breaking down, I'm okay. How about you?
I can tell you, for the most part, that's how I've always thought about food.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm a Vegas not a native,
Vegas, local,
I guess. Transplant. Yeah. I've eaten at a total of Burger King and Tropical Smoothie. So, okay, but going back, I haven't really ventured out yet, but I could say there are some amazing places to eat in Vegas.
Peppermill, right? Peppermill.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. That's the one you told us to go to. I think
it's yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's great. But I'm just because it's not like $60 Caesar salads, right?
Right.
But I can tell you. So I eat when my brother comes 3 or 4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a player, and so he gets like $800,000 in food comps, right?
Wow.
So he's like, Jeremy, we've got to blow through this and eat at these restaurants. And so there is, like, I used to be like you, utilitarian when it comes to food.
Yeah.
But when you eat at some of these places, you understand that there's Vegas food that is on a whole nother level. Whenever, I've been at places, steakhouses, it's $100 for a steak or whatever.
Tony Romo or Ruth Chris or something.
Ruth Chris, whatever. But some of these places in Vegas, it's like, what are they doing? Because it is amazing food. But you got to pay for it. So it's places I would never go, but because it's like, we got to spend $300 tonight to get rid of my food comps or I lose it. And we go to nice places to eat. And boy, the food is on another level. And I have grown to appreciate some of the stuff that they do out there. Not that I'm going on a regular basis or anything, and I can't do it all myself, but because it's comped food, it is really nice. And now I know, now that I've got a taste of it, I see why people go to these places. It's probably still overpriced. I don't know as far as value goes.
Right.
But my eyes have been open, and I do realize that there's these high-end restaurants and these chefs are for real. It's not just like some made-up gimmick. That's a little better.
the steak tastes better. The salad tastes better.
It's like these sides that they make, these special potatoes with
sauces,
these unique
and
flavors and sauces, and it's just like, they're doing some amazing things with food that I just had never been able to appreciate it. Now that I've kind of experienced a little bit, I'm like, wow, okay, I get it. Not that the value's there, but I understand why people go to high-end places, and so
I'll only go, Jim, if I've won and I'm playing with house money. No, but I'm fine just going to Denny's. I'm fine going in the morning, something cheap, get going. I'm not interested in the homemade muffin or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm just like want to eat and go. But now if we're with a group of friends or something, we're going to sit down and chit chat and that kind of stuff. Go to a nicer place, definitely.
Esther Kitchen, absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
There you go. Don't know where that one is.
We kind of talked about this last time. There used to be great meal deals by casinos back in the day. Yep. No.
Now I will say this: I've watched a couple videos. There's this girl. I don't remember. She's a YouTuber. You might want to look her up. She's in Vegas, Jeremy. She's kind of she's if you like pretty kind of modeling kind of girls. But anyway,
nobody likes those type.
Nobody likes those. But anyway, apparently she's got a little following, and she'll go in and she shows you all the meal deals and stuff and which hotels to play at and stuff. But anyway, she's got some good bargains on there. Jacob's Life in Vegas, he just did another recent one. And then there was another one I saw where he had like, if you're in the alcohol and stuff, you get the $1 beers and Bud Lights or whatever.
Yeah, they do happen. They're not everywhere.
Not like it used to be. Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
It's like the Palms advertising $5. Now it's a unicorn. So now these people that have meals that are, a great value, they're unicorns. They pop up,
right.
but not.
But not like they used to be over there.
Happy Father's Day back at you, Badger. Prime Rib at Four Queens is the bomb. Speaking of, so I get... For DiceCon in the last couple of years, we get the final dinners catered by Four Queens and Binions,
right.
And they do a great job. I think that food is really good.
I loved it. Yeah,
and I'm mixing up the menu this year. It's steak and fish instead of barbecue, but it should be good. They've always done a good job.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Barry's Steakhouse at the Circus, not too shabby.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Fontainebleau had $95 baked potato. Yeah, I heard that from the Casino Quest guys.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I just happened to have their little thing up here. I was going to upgrade my room for Saturday night when Mrs. Professor Bonnie Boo comes into town, but I'm not going to go there if they have $95 baked potatoes.
Well, you don't have to order the potato.
Yeah, okay.
Blueberry Hill, I guess that's a local chain. Great breakfasts. Yeah, it's big servings. Breakfast food to me, I've never found a place that is like amazing breakfast food. No matter what the price tier, like I'm just happy with Denny's. But
now you say that's a local place. Where is it? Anywhere near the Strip or downtown where we're going to be?
They've got like 5 or 6 locations, I think, around Vegas. They're usually a little drive off.
Okay.
Big servings, and they're always packed. But yeah, they're pretty good. I've been there a couple times. Do you guys look for the softest tables out in Vegas? What are your favorite casinos to play in? I don't know what softest tables mean.
Does he mean like landing zone?
I know what he means when you're talking about poker. You're looking for soft players, but most dice influencers, I always thought looked for hard tables.
Now I will say this: until they
5
changed
minutes
it.
from
Go
the
ahead.
Fremont Street.
Okay,
Speaking of Jerry's Nugget, they have an amazing bakery, and I think their food's pretty good. This is Jerry's Nugget is in a sketchy part, but it's north of Fremont, and they have always got the $5 crab. So value, but the food is good.
Okay. What I was getting ready to say was, I still have not ever been to Jerry's, so I haven't got the experience on it.
Maybe
and number
we
two,
gotta go, maybe.
Yeah, maybe make it happen this time. But number 2, what were you just saying before that? There was a number 2, but I can't remember it. But go ahead. That's what happens when you get old.
No, that's because I interrupt you all the time.
No, it's all right.
Golden Steer and Herbs and Rye. I've heard a lot of people mention Herbs and Rye. I don't even know what kind of food that is.
Now, is that herbs or is it actually herbs and rye?
It's herbs, right?
Okay.
You already clarified the least bouncy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Jim are random. We don't. There are some tables like we've had a table at the
yes.
Ellis Island. It was like a trampoline. Right. That was no fun.
It was hard to keep them on the table.
Exactly. I mean, that's no fun. But other than that, we don't care. So you're asking.
But
wrong people.
They did change it. They did change the fault the next year out.
No, I said, bro, we can't play on that. And he goes, we'll get it done. We'll change it out. And they did. So appreciate that.
Yeah, to their credits. Mm-hmm.
Chop Steakhouse on Royal Caribbean ships. Get the bacon.
Okay.
I've never eaten at one of the. I've always just enjoyed the free food at on my
the free
cruises.
food or the prepaid food. Yeah. So one of the other.
Yeah. Herbs and Rye is a steakhouse. Okay, there you go. They must rub in some nice herbs.
Thank you, Neo.
Flavor it up.
I'm glad Neo's on my side on that one. So, yeah.
Elsign had a $5 roll to win when I was there last year. Yeah, they put that in because they're kind of famous for always having at least one $5 table. And then so they put that in so they can have one basically 24 hours.
And you said it was for the night shift mostly, right? Because they actually have a live. Do they have a live
I don't know
table?
now because they're under remodel. So
that's right.
Told me they've only got one table open, and then once they're finished, they'll have 3. I think. But yeah, that's why they put that in because they're like, sometimes we can't have all of our dealers to host a $5 table.
Oh, I know I know a place where I love to eat, Ellis Island. Oh my gosh! Yeah, what do they call the thing? The yard? Is it? It's not the yard. What do they call their atrium thing?
It's like their beer garden, but yeah.
But the food there is incredible. We just the stuff that we had last year was great. But my wife and I have been there before a couple 3 times, and
a lot of people say that about that. I've had
I really enjoyed it. I've
had like their breakfast steak. Their steak special, and their steaks come out juicy and. Really good, and $10, and yeah. Pouncer says, "I'm so excited to see everyone at DicesCon 2025. So many of us are going to show support for the club, craps, and having fun."
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope so. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Pouncer's one of our legends in the club.
The barbecue restaurant gives a lot of food. Yeah, good portions. I think he's talking about Ellis. Got another vote for Ellis.
Yes,
food is good, but don't get the coleslaw.
Wait,
onions.
Let me tell you this. I learned some things and. I'm
a coleslaw fan, but I'm not.
Not with onions in it, because barbecue to me in Virginia. When you say barbecue to me, that's like Carolina style, chopped up and sweet.
You guys
barbecue
do
sour.
Chopped up, and do you do that orange sauce?
We do. Yeah, it's kind of got a little vinegar taste to it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I ordered barbecue at Ellis Island they brought this big thing. I said, "What is this?" He said, "Oh, that's barbecue." I was like, "That ain't the barbecue I'm talking about." And but yeah, we were all at the table together. That was crazy on that one.
Yes, Ellis Island, get the bacon. He's always suggesting the bacon. I'm not a bacon guy. I could care less. I could take it or leave it, but I'm not like, I know a lot of, that's been like the meme the last couple of years. Bacon. I don't get it.
Really? Okay. I like bacon.
DicesCon is June 23rd, but it's a club member event. So,
club member only, yeah.
Yeah, and the registration's closed. So we are talking about it, but unfortunately, the door is closed for that to join us this year.
Mm-hmm.
But consider becoming a member, meet a lot of great people, and join us next year.
And that's probably the best thing about DicesCon is we didn't talk about this at all. Nobody asked, what do you do when there's a jerk at the table who's angry at everything, throwing crap around or whatever. But when you have Color Up Club members, there's an energy, there's a vibe, there's a friendliness, there is the community that we get to know each other through, Discord. And I've got buddies of mine, a lot of them I met. I've flown out to Indianapolis to meet
a guy just visited you this weekend.
Yeah.
Club,
Jeff the Tin Man. Yeah.
Happens all the time,
came in town. And I was going to treat him, but he suggested treating us. So he treated my wife and I out for a wonderful meal. Him and his brother-in-law, Fireman Jim, and it was easy to remember Fireman Jim's name because it's the same as mine. So.
Sonny said, "I don't live in Vegas, but I learn crafts from your videos. Thank you." Yeah, I really appreciate you watching. So thank you, Sonny. I always appreciate the viewers.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jim, we're moving in on 3 hours.
I'm telling you, Joe Rogan, we're coming after you, man. Joe Rogan. And look, we don't even have to get up and use the bathroom. I mean, that's how good we are. So
yeah. Does he take bathroom breaks?
Sometimes they say,
I've never watched a full episode of his.
Come on, man.
I just, that's a big time commitment.
Oh,
as interesting as the videos are, I usually will watch clips.
So what I do is here lately, I've been playing them on my way to school. So I've got, depending on traffic and everything in the morning, I don't have a 44-minute commute. So that'll put a dent in it. So right now, this past week, because we went last Sunday to Nate Bargatze's concert, I listened to his interview with him, and it was a 3-hour plus show. But I broke it up into chunks.
That might be
exception.
Yeah, for 3 hours.
It's pretty cool listening to him talk about how he came up and. They knew Chappelle and stuff, and
I'm sure it's one of those things. It's like it's a 20-year overnight story, right?
Oh, that's exactly right. That's what they talk about.
Success is always it looks like it's overnight, but man, it's 20 years of struggle. Probably no one watched them and stand up.
Oh, I love it. I will say that I'm going to throw some thing for Badger. So Badger Jim's one of our club members, very active member in not just the Color Up Discord community, but just in the dice community in general. I bet he's known by a lot of people, and he's a heck of a guy. And yeah, I'd love to. He's outside of Dallas and Texas, and I'd love to hook up. He's a very active guy. He's a teacher, just like me, probably much better than I am. But he's also a coach, and he's always got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, Badger, one day, Badger, I'm talking to you. One day I am going to maybe come down to Texas even, but really not any craps game in Texas, is there?
Nope.
I just have to play on his little set or something. But yeah, we got to get you somewhere soon to hook up. That would be really cool, Jim. I totally agree with you.
He asked what the number, how many signed up this year. I think the number is 72. It's a little light, but usually that's good though. It'll be the hardcore guys who want to be there.
Yeah.
And
so
gals.
Yeah, and it's in between. It varies, right? It varies. Let's see. None in Texas yet. Yep. Yeah, I didn't think so.
You got to go to Shreveport or right across the border in Oklahoma.
So you got to go to Louisiana or up to Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you can go over to Phoenix or something, but yeah. You got to travel if you live in Texas.
And actually, to get out of Texas, you have to travel.
You got to travel unless you live on the border, unless you live in like El Paso.
Borders, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of Texas and down in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with. Okay. Tulsa's closer, he's saying. Okay. Or cruise out of Galveston. There you go.
Yeah,
that's what we need to do. Yeah. We need to get Badger Jim on a cruise out of Galveston with Holy Roller, and maybe I can jump down there and do that.
WinStar is the closest to DFW. Yeah, so I've been there. I think they're famous for being the largest casino in the world or something. They have like a huge square footage.
Okay.
When I went, it's been so long that they had card craps like California, and they charge an ante. Now at least they have got rid of the cards, but I think they might still charge an ante. I don't know. Some in Oklahoma do, some don't.
Yeah, I want to bring this one here because there are other communities, not that we're, this is this show and there are other shows that are out there. But yeah, there are a bunch of them out there. And I know Jeremy's co-collaborated with a few other people that are out there. Who are some of the communities that you've collaborated with, Jeremy, as far as doing collab videos?
Well, multiple times I've done stuff with the Casino Quest CEG dealer school guys, and I know they're a huge community.
Yeah, they got like on their roulette thing, it's like 100,000 people or something.
Is big now, but we have a lot of crossover between that channel.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Holy Roller Brian, I would think. Yeah. You're Brian, cruising, buddy. My God. Yeah, he's Brian. How soon they forget?
If you're interested in cruising, he's definitely got a community you want to check out.
Yeah.
He's
if you
got,
like cruising.
Yeah, he's got me on this trip where I'm only paying port fees and taxes to cruise, and
that's what I'm doing too.
I ended up taking like 6 or 7 last year, which is insane. I went from never cruising to like 6 in a year. So, what else?
Who else have you collaborated with?
You tell me.
I remember your buddy. I think he's making pizzas now. Is what somebody told me.
I don't know if he has a community. I don't even.
Yeah.
King Dice.
Right King
I
Dice,
did a video with him, but
yeah.
I think he's since stopped.
Well, he's in the restaurant business. I heard, right?
Or he was.
Like that. I don't know if he still is or not.
Yeah, he started a pizza and he had a craps table in his pizza joint. It's pretty cool. Somewhere on, like north on the Las Vegas Strip, but north.
Okay.
Casino Gaming TV. So Pro
John,
Craps.
exactly.
John at Pro Craps and Casino Gaming TV. So John's a great guy, and I would
He's
call
busy.
him a friend of mine. And he's doing all kinds of stuff. And then Casino Gaming TV is another channel that he started, and that is where they do all live stuff. And then there's a bunch of other kind of YouTubers that like kind of host shows. It's almost like a TV channel. So other people host shows on that Casino Gaming TV channel on YouTube. And so that's a whole another community. I think they do a podcast on Sunday nights just like we do, or every other or something. But yeah, that's another community.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I would say what John is with his community, he's got like daily paycheck show, and he runs series and things, and he's got
very
active
analytical.
Discord. Yeah, analytical, very thorough with everything on that. So yeah, check that one out too. But yeah, those are the
Hawaiian
main
Craps,
ones.
Brian.
Oh yeah, Brian. Heck
Hawaiian
yeah.
Crap Shooters. They have a huge following. A lot of people love them. Well, for one, they're Hawaiian. They show a lot of live casino action, and
I love.
You like their live stuff, right?
I like their live stuff. I love where they play at their table on Sundays in their garage, and it's like a DJ morning show from the 1980s. They got the sound effects and everything. I love Brian and his wife, and I don't know all the names of everybody else, but that's a fun group to be around.
That's a big community.
Yeah, I'll say this one. Mid-Atlantic Craps, Jeff. He's a club member, and he's been putting out stuff for several years. He's kind of had some ebbs and flows on some stuff, but I love Jeff, and he's got a great voice. He's very engaging and entertaining, and very thorough with all his stuff.
I think he does or used to do some shows on Casino Gaming TV. I know they partner up a lot. I think.
And then right now he's got a series on. He's been partnering up with. Was it Gargle? And this is where I depending on what you're looking for, if you're into the dice influence, that kind of stuff, they tend to go more toward that side. But
yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of like dice control communities out there. I don't really follow them. They're out there. I can't, I'm not going to recommend any. I mean, I guess Hawaiian Crab Shooters are kind of that way.
Yeah, I would say he's probably one. But
yeah, some of them are really hardcore, and they've grown really big, strong communities. I'm just not, participate because I don't.
And you only have so much time because you're making videos as opposed to watching videos too.
Yeah.
And I would. Yeah,
I used to watch them all and try to comment on everyone. And nowadays I don't. I just kind of focus on my thing. Since I went full time, unfortunately you have to work for a living. And so before, when it was a hobby, I was able to dabble, make some videos, and try to watch everyone's stuff. But now there's like 200 YouTube channels out there.
Just thought of a great question. I want to say two things.
Watch hardly any of them anymore. I just get work done. So.
And an up-and-comer is Demon Dog, Chris with Demon Dog Dice, and it's a fun way to hang out and play with his community. But number two is this: how long does it usually take you to make a 15 or 20-minute video, whatever you got? How long does it take you? And I don't mean to actually film it. I mean like production, coming up with the idea, the whole shebang. Like, how much should we bank on?
I've never added it up.
You don't know how long it takes you to make a video?
I know. Shouldn't I be more?
I mean, how many have you done?
Production?
Like 500? You don't you have a ballpark of time?
Ballpark of time. I mean. The filming is the easiest part. I'll say that right up front. It's
okay.
My videos are 15 to 20 minutes. It takes me 15 to 20 minutes to film them.
Yeah, I got that part, but I don't
redo them or anything. But editing, I was a professional editor before YouTube, so I'm very quick at that. So I do some steps now where I get a dicer build.
Right.
So I do some post stuff. Nowadays, I add numbers. I add the average roll. So I'm building spreadsheets of all the rolls in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So my editing is maybe a couple hours, 2 hours.
That's all?
Yeah, I'm fast.
Oh, it would take me forever to do anything close to what you do.
I got a system and I'm fast. Like I said, that's what I used to do for a living. So that part's fast. And then probably... So people would think it's not maybe that much, but the kind of concept and idea iteration process might take a couple hours or more than the actual episode or than the editing. So maybe 5 hours, 6 hours of video.
Okay. All right.
Not a whole lot considering I usually only do 2 videos a week, but there's other stuff I do.
Seems to me, I don't know, it seems to me that it would take longer. I know it would for me, but then again, I'm not a pro. So
yeah, it might. I mean, and when sometimes I'll do dice advice videos, and those are user submitted ideas. So even symbols, they go, "Oh, your video's there, right? You have it." Very rarely do these dice advice submissions make sense. So the first thing I do is I read it. Okay, is it kind of cool title? Is it interesting? And then so the idea is there, right? But then I kind of usually on my mat, I kind of play it out, and I find out that they've only provided me with half the information to accomplish this strategy.
Or they don't give you like, okay, what if this happens?
What if, right? The contingencies. So
right.
Either I'll converse back and forth with the person to figure out the contingencies, or I'll just play it out and go, okay, because I have to figure out every scenario before I present it on YouTube or film it. So I have to figure out all the holes and figure out what's missing and what if this and then this rolls. So there's takes some time, but those are probably my quickest videos because the idea is already there, and then I just got to figure out a catchy way, a hook, right, for a thumbnail and title. But those are the quickest because the idea is there. It still takes another hour or two to kind of figure it out.
So that's on the before you even start filming. It's ahead of time. Let me ask you this also. You mentioned the dicer.
Yeah.
Do you do it, or do you submit that into the guy, or how does that work?
Behind the scenes, I give it to the the developer. And
the guy we met at DiceCon last year.
Yep.
Yeah, he and his partner.
And actually, this week he just returned to me one he said is the most complicated ever.
Oh, wow.
So I think that will be airing Monday, but is the most complicated ever, and he had to actually build out some new features to Dicer
to make it happen.
To make it happen.
Oh, wow.
And the build of it is crazy for anyone familiar with Dicer. But no, so I usually get the videos done, and then I'm bad about it, and he's great about turning them around quickly when I give him short notice. But ideally, I give them to him, and he returns them a week later. Here's the build for it. And then I go back and film. I'll do the simulations and film another segment to then add on to my video. And then the video is finished. And then I re-edit it and segment it to put it on TV. Sports Grid. Thanks to Sports Grid for sponsoring our podcast. Well,
yeah, and by the way, we're powered by Sports Grid. Powered by Sports Grid. Yeah, we forgot to mention, but it's only 2 hours 22 minutes into it.
Yeah, everyone's still listening.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, our numbers are still holding, which is pretty amazing.
People like us chit-chatting, I guess.
Either that or they're tuning in.
And we're really giving some juicy material now. I guess.
Yeah, you start off with the violence. Start off with violence. That hooks them in. So.
And now we're talking about how long it takes me to make videos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what's your for a 20-minute video, typical 20-minute video?
5 hours would be my rough estimate, I guess.
With the front time and the back time. Okay. Very good.
I guess.
And if you're doing 2 a week, now sometimes you have one, sometimes you have 2 a week, and if they get backed up, or have you ever thought about releasing 3 a week or no?
No, there was a period where I've done like 5 in a week or whatever, because a lot of times YouTube was like, hey, the more the merrier, right? And I've found, and it varies, but I've found for me, if I put out 2, I can get 10 to 20,000 per video.
Okay.
And then if I put out like 5, I will get like 2,000 per video.
So it waters it down a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of waters it down, And I think it's because my audience generally are middle-aged men like ourselves.
Okay.
And they have lives. These gentlemen work.
Mm-hmm.
They have weekends available, sometimes nights. And there's so much content, they don't have time for everything. So, you know, to check in on a video once or twice a week is good. To watch a video every night. Is there anything that you do 5 nights a week besides work?
Is there anything I'd want to do 5 nights a week?
Not once, but actually go, you know what? I'm going to set aside time and do it. So for me, I found like kind of 2 videos work. And now I guess if I put out 5, you say, well, you pick up other people. I don't know. But I just found my numbers actually overall dip. And so it's worked better for my life. And it seems for the YouTube.
Especially if you're doing 5 hours of video, 5 times 5 is what, 25 hours a week versus 10, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and then, you know, we've added live. I spend a lot of time on the club stuff.
That's very true.
I certainly do have, just like everyone else, probably maybe not a 40-hour job. Probably a 30-some-hour job for sure, easily.
I think if you're counting all the Discord time and checking in on that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I dedicate.
And then answering the comments of the videos and stuff.
I do easily 6 to 10 hours a week answering comments.
That's a lot.
That's talking about an hour a day, probably. I spend.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff. So it's a job, but did you shake 95 or 395 with that U-Haul? I took that back road.
You went the one like driving through the desert.
Yeah.
Straight going by the Clown Hotel. What was that route?
Yeah. Tunapa. It's not an interstate, so
no, it's not an interstate by any means. It's terrible.
Is it 95 or something?
I don't know. I mean,
95 sounds like an interstate to me. It is not an interstate.
Well, there's Interstate 95 on the
But
East
it goes
Coast,
through Tunapa, and then it goes through that donkey town, Beatty, Nevada.
Let's see. What was the name of the clown place again?
We just call it the Clown Hotel. This town is Tonopah, Tono something.
Clown Hotel. NV. Let's see. Put my glasses on so I can read what's going on.
Do you have any other questions about how long it takes me? So you think it takes me too long or too short?
No, I'm surprised it doesn't take you longer. I'm surprised it doesn't take you longer.
You said that question came up from someone else.
I did?
Yeah. Someone else had said how long it took?
No, I was asking you. I thought about that one. I thought.
State Highway 95?
Clown Hotel.
It must have been.
Clown Motel.
Highway 95.
Tunapa. You're right. Tunapa. Let me see.
That's where we stop and get gas and
this is just this thing looks like station. This is terrible. 521.
There should be a horror movie film there for sure.
Exactly. Oh my God! Actually, on the web page, it looks like they're filming one of these shots. There it looks like they were filming a movie there or something.
I guess there's a museum there or something.
I don't know. History. Yeah, there's a motel, gift shop, clown museum.
Yeah, Badger, if you're in Discord, just message Holy Roller in the Discord. He's asking questions about the Alaskan cruise. I just got back. Yeah. That was my last cruise. My wife said it's her favorite that we've done.
Oh, wow. That's the one we're looking at maybe doing next year. So we booked an MSC cruise for next spring break. Yeah.
Okay. Venturing out into other cruise lines.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we've done Celebrity Royal, Carnival, and now we're doing MSC. So this will be our 4th one on that one. I'm looking forward to that. Different experience. I was trying to see if it gave, like if they had a button for directions, but apparently not. Let me see if I Google that address.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the name of the road.
Oh, I think you already here. I'll just map back
25?
to my old house. Reno.
There it is. 95. Yeah, that's it. 95. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I drove that crowd pleaser down from Reno back to Vegas, from Tahoe back to Vegas, and that was just, I was so stupid driving through the middle of the desert with no water, and I'm seeing signs like next gas stop 200 miles or whatever. Yeah,
I bought some soda.
I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again.
In Tunapa, so I wouldn't fall asleep. It's no big
then
deal.
I'll drive by that clown place. I got out. I did get out of the car and take a picture of it in front of it though. I was like, "What the heck?" So
in Tunapa, they have this. There's a hotel, not the Clown Hotel, but a different hotel that's kind of, because some of the buildings are like old historic.
Okay.
And it has a little casino in it, and it does have a bubble craps machine in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I decided not to play it, but they do have one. So
I applaud you for getting out of the car also.
Little adventure in your life. Come on, Jim. Yeah. Although, to be fair, we know some of us know your history.
Yeah. I've been robbed 4 times, twice at gunpoint. So
that's in your bio.
Yeah. It's
everything's filtered through that.
Filtered. That's exactly right. Yeah.
All right. At this point, I think we're
done. 2 hours, 30 minutes. We're done.
This has got to be our longest.
I think it. If it's not, it's pretty close.
This will go down in the annals of history.
Yeah. Some people would say annals of history.
Yeah, well, I feel like this one's more...
Yeah, I got you on that one. Yeah. The other end. In addition to the numbers rolled in your videos, add net dollars for the current roll.
No, will not do it.
Okay. All right. Not going to do it.
Do you want to know why? I did that for a period of time.
You did it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to add like the subtotal in every roll. This is where your bankroll was.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that takes a long time, right?
No, it wasn't about time.
What was
Suspense.
It? Suspense.
Yeah.
So you want us to hang around to the end to
my
see.
My job
keep you engaged
is
the
to
whole
keep
18
engaged,
minutes.
so you got to keep watch. So if you watch and see, hey, oh my gosh, I know the amount, 12 minutes in, this is a loser, and you bounce, right? I mean, certain people bounce anyway, but I found that I've got greater viewer retention, which is a very key metric as a YouTuber, if they watch, and then I just put the final count at the end, because then people are like, I think he was up, I think he was down. How did he do? I show the count, and then you go, oh, okay. I mean, obviously you could just fast forward to the count if you really wanted to, but that is why I did do that for a period of time. Not only was the work not effort, but my viewer retention is increased by just waiting and letting it be a surprise when we color up. And that's part of the show, right? Although I am bad about actually coloring up. I usually just count it and leave it. And
you don't color up anymore.
I really should count it up and then color
Throw
up.
Throw a pumpkin, a purple chip or something.
I should do that. But thanks, Brian. Thanks for listening and sticking around.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This was one heck of a monster roll.
It was the monster roll of podcast that will never be potted. Yeah. Badger says, what do you guys for transportation at Vegas? Your own car? I
almost always rent a car.
Now, I've done it both ways, Badger. And I'm going to give you my answer for economics class. It depends. Okay, if you're staying on the strip, I would say
just a little Uber.
Yeah.
Some walking, the rail.
Yeah, walking, Uber, the rail. Yeah. If you're staying downtown, probably the car is the way to go. Although this time I'll be probably Ubering a little bit.
If you're really economical, you can get the bus from the airport to downtown. But, it's going to take you an hour and a half bus ride to get down there. Yeah,
I'm going to say no on that one. On 105 the degrees. Not there. Yeah, 105 degrees. But really, there's a city bus that'll run you from the airport downtown?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I'll do it for the adventure. I've done that in other cities I'm serious. I've done that in other cities where I had some time to kill and all. But yeah, I'll do the Uber. I'll do all of the above. Now, what I did this past one, though, after DiceCon, I rode the Elon Musk tunnel thing, the Boring Company, and they've added
that's not getting
some more
everywhere.
stops.
That's just a couple spots on the north end.
It's about four now.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, they opened up another one. So I got on it at Resorts World, and then I got on it, and the guy took me to every stop that they had last year, and I'm going to probably do that again this year. So
I've almost always rented a car. I almost all like 3 Uber rides. Like I've gotten cars 68. I've always found Vegas has been pretty cheap rental cars. There has been times when they've been crazy high, but usually
they spiked up a couple times.
Yeah, I've seen them spike, but usually I can get it for a few days. I mean, $20-$30 a day.
$30 a day.
So it kind of works out after 3-4 Uber rides, and I almost tend to always go from the Strip to downtown, and then somewhere off Strip, and then somewhere to eat, and I just like kind of having that freedom. Mm-hmm. So I almost always rent a car. It'll be a new concept. Like you asked earlier, where am I going to park? I that don't even compute with me now that I have my own personal car here. It'll be different, but we'll see. We got to figure that.
I'll say this, Badger. When I stay at the Strip, I usually get a car because I know at some point I'm going to be going downtown, and then I also like getting the car too. Like if we want to run out to, Badger, if you're coming there for the first time or whatever, you want to go to the Grand Canyon, you're going to want to see Hoover Dam and all that stuff. So I would say definitely get a car on that kind of stuff.
If you don't plan on coming often, Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, whatever, but if you're like, well, I'm going to come and I'll probably be back in a couple of years, like there's too much to do and see in just Vegas to me
in a week,
to leave and go to the Grand Canyon or Hoover Dam or offsite. So you certainly don't need to. You could Uber to somewhere, wherever you're staying on the Strip. There's a couple.
And actually, to go to those places,
trams.
You can get those tours. That's what we did one time. They have like a van, and you get on with a few people, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
They don't have a metro or a tram that goes everywhere, like a lot of cities. It's kind of a car-based town.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I did see a video today in preparation for the show because it was going to be a show about nothing, and we have accomplished that. But I did watch a video today where a guy, I think he's called the Challenge Man or something, he walked from the airport to the MGM Grand.
I saw that thumbnail.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I watched the video this morning. It was a scream. He said, "Full disclosure, I've got somebody following me in a car in case I pass out or whatever." But it was pretty interesting.
If you're staying at MGM Grand, it's doable, I guess. But every once in a while, driving back to the airport or wherever, I'll see people with like their luggage going down the sidewalk to the airport, and you're like, wow, that guy just,
It took him
3 miles in the heat.
Oh, what did he
say?
Yeah.
If you're just going for a walk, I do a 3-mile walk every day, right, in the morning, but 3-mile walk in the heat with your luggage,
105 degrees,
roads and construction and
the heat beaming off the sidewalk.
That's a lot. Pay the $20 Uber ride.
Oh yeah, the free trams too, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah,
on the
that's south side of the Strip.
Usually.
West and south over there. But yeah, you could do that and go from
You can go Mandalay Bay, that goes stops at Luxor and the next Caliber. And then there's another one.
You go through Park MGM. You go up to
GM.
what's the one that starts with a V or something, or
Vidara, Cosmo.
Yeah, you get up there and it goes all the way down to
Bellagio, and then there's another one, a little one. It's like from Treasure Island to I think it was Mirage, although Mirage doesn't exist. I'm not sure
they're gone.
Starts anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side of the Strip, there's you can get it for like $10 for a day pass, and it goes the whole way from like Sahara down to MGM Grand.
It takes a little longer than you think.
That, it's pretty far behind.
Yeah.
And
it's
a heck of a walk just to get to it. But if you were trying to walk from the very south side all the way to the north, it'll get you up there.
Yeah, it looks like it's doable, but it's not.
Not walkable, yeah.
No.
Unless you got your walking shoes on and that's your goal, right?
Yeah. Challenge Man video.
All right.
Ready to wind it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's end this. I wonder if I can.
So we're gonna have a podcast next week from Vegas.
I don't know how to
logistically do it. Okay.
Well, we don't start till Monday, and you're going to be here?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there Saturday.
I don't know why we couldn't do Sunday because I don't start till Monday. Yeah, we'll
just
be
scoot
live
over a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll scoot over. Yeah,
I got to get another mic.
Okay.
Well, I have
scoot over. Yeah.
I have other mics, but they're different, so they might sound different. Maybe people don't.
Do you want me to bring this one with me? I can bring this one.
I don't want you to bring extra stuff.
It don't matter. We could do it and we could get with
one.
the Holy Roller Brian. We could do something on the cruise or something. What do you think? We could tape a podcast or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Wary Bar, even better thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone in our Discord is making great use of AI and making all these just hilarious
little things, memes and images and stuff.
Super appreciate.
Yeah. They're great on that stuff. Absolutely. Look forward to seeing more of it.
So I think we could probably pull off. I don't know what your plans were. Coming in Saturday and then Sunday.
Yeah. So I'm coming in Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So I can do whatever. I know. I think somebody else is coming in. It might be Jeff. I can't remember if he's considered.
Where are you, on the Strip or downtown? Or
so I'm going to be downtown for the Nugget on Sunday, but I haven't figured out Saturday yet. So yeah, I got to figure that out. So we could talk. We'll talk after the show or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yes, it is the crowd pleaser, by the way. That is.
Yeah. He's the best at that.
Most of our thumbnails have been that.
Yeah, quality stuff that he has, and I wish he could get tumbles or whatever and sell them at the Color Up Club shop. That's McTumbles.
What is his name? Rolly
McTumbles.
Yeah.
I just
that was a great series he made of videos. So cool.
Those are great.
It could be a TV show, like an animated TV show. I love that character. Yeah. All right. We will probably see you, me and Jim, live
next week.
Until then, good luck on coloring up.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.